Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Space Grand Challenge Silent Horizons 2026, where the next generation of cybersecurity leaders are stepping up, logging in, and launching into orbit to defend the digital universe. My name is Madeline Hott, and this is
Benjamin Arts.
And we will be your hosts and guides for today's wonderful event celebrating innovation, teamwork, creativity, and most importantly, cyber defense. Now, Ben and I know better than anybody. The SGC, the Space Grand Challenge, is not just any competition. No, it is a virtual game-based challenge made for students by students right here in Cal Poly San Luis Obispo by our dedicated team of Unity developers behind us and cybersecurity professionals, designed for high school and middle school students to experience cybersecurity in a fun and engaging format that allows them to engage with, real-life cybersecurity challenges. So whether you are a student, a competitor, a mentor, an educator, a parent, or a cybersecurity enthusiast, we are guaranteed to have a wonderful journey for you today, and most importantly, showcase the height of tech talent. Ben, would you mind telling them a little bit about what we have in store today?
Yeah, we have a ton. I mean, obviously, for the next 4 hours, you're going to be playing this amazing game. We have been actually able to test run it a couple times, and I am just going to go ahead and say, be excited.
Yes.
This is the first time that you're going to be able to walk through this challenge, and there's actually a lot of value to that. You're going to go in, check out these challenges, capture those flags. And meanwhile, Maddie and I are going to be talking to you about a whole lot of things. We're going to go ahead and walk through a Unity room with you. We're going to actually have some live guests as well. So we're going to go ahead and interview some of the people that actually built the rooms. Tons of good information from them. And then we actually also have some pre-recorded interviews. Those ones I always like, that's kind of one of my favorite parts.
Yep.
We put a ton of effort, a ton of time into that, making sure that we get the top of the line people. So we have 4 amazing guests set up for you today. And these are people with real life experience. And you'll go ahead and see them. You might have already seen them if you follow us through our YouTube and things along those lines, Instagram, LinkedIn, all that. We're also going to be doing some fun stuff. We felt bad that we're not going to be able to play the game, so we're actually also going to be playing a game,
Yep.
the CAPTCHA game. If you don't know what CAPTCHA is,
well,
you'll
we'll
have
tell
to
you
stay
very
tuned.
soon. Yep. I mean, at its core, the SGC is about giving students the opportunity, the confidence to lead in an increasing digital world. So whether it's your first time tuning in or you've been following us for quite some time, we are so excited to have you here. Well, now that we've gotten into that, I'd like to shift gears a little bit and tell you a little bit about our story this year. Every year we have a story for our games, and this year is no different. So I invite you guys to relax, sit back, listen closely, and allow your imagination to launch into orbit. Moonshot Satellites, a multi-billion-dollar company led by CEO William Gecko, operates a massive network of 20,000 CubeSats in low Earth orbit, providing internet access to over 100 million users worldwide. On April 8th, 2026, the company suffered a major cyber breach when threat actors gained access to its lunar-based network through social engineering. I mean, that sounds pretty bad, Ben. And actually,
I was about to say, we have a CubeSat ourselves. So I don't know, this thing is very real. You were saying there are 20,000 of these supporting this network?
20,000.
Okay, and this whole network is now, what's happening to it? You were hinting at it.
Yeah, I mean, they've suffered a major cyber breach, so That doesn't
Uh-oh.
sound very good, but we're going to get a little bit more into that, and we're going to get more into CubeSats later on in the broadcast. But by April 11th, a zero-day logic bomb had been deployed, severing communication between ground control, the CubeSat mesh network, the 5G lunar base mission, and deep space networks. The hacker group, Unwanted Guest, claimed responsibility, threatening to manipulate satellite antennas and demanding $1 billion in Bitcoin by April 25th,
Oh, man.
2026. $1 billion in Bitcoin?
I mean, it's a $1 billion company, and they're demanding
That does
$1 billion.
not sound
Oh,
right.
okay. Okay, never mind. Sorry. I was trying to think of something here. Well, what we could do is we could hire the best of the best and
Exactly.
see if they can solve this challenge themselves.
I agree. In response, Moonshot's internal team and cybersecurity experts are working urgently to investigate the breach, analyze digital evidence, and restore system functionality. Their goal is to identify how the attackers exploited vulnerabilities and prevent future social engineering attacks. With the ransomware deadline approaching, the company faces immense pressure to recover its network and secure its space based assets before further damage is done. I mean, that is a crazy story, guys. We need you guys to help out our company to
Hmm.
succeed because honestly, $1 billion company paying $1 billion, I don't know about that
The math
one.
doesn't add up. I mean, it's also the fact that 100 million people are now missing their
Hmm.
network. I know we talked about that. It's like, okay, our Wi-Fi goes down. I'm
I
frustrated.
am
But
frustrated.
now
I'm calling. What is happening?
there's a lot more that's at risk as well. We have our 5G stuff
Hmm.
down. We have our SAC command down. We have a really big, well, cyber problem
It's a
at this
problem.
point. And it's all just because these guys went down. It's wild to think about.
I know. And this is like a very real scenario that could possibly happen. Obviously, it's kind of, out of the ordinary, but we are so excited. And we at the SGC have full confidence that you guys have the skills to handle
Hmm.
this mission. But if you happen to get stuck in any of the rooms or at any of our projects, please feel free to reach out to our Unity team behind us. They are here to
Hmm.
help you. You can reach out at
SGC support at calpoly.edu. I'll go ahead and repeat that one more time. It's SGC support at calpoly.edu. And then another cool portion of this game is that you can actually very much interact live, well, with us through the
mm-hmm.
Twitch chat, obviously, but also with the team behind us through Discord. You can go ahead and hop in a Discord call with your team yourself. You can go ahead and communicate, well,
Yep.
through those systems. So something that is just for you to know. If you need the link for any of that, you can go ahead and check below this video, or once again, you can ask us in the chat. And one more time, just so everybody knows, it's SGC support at calpoly.edu.
Well, thank you so much. And I know that we're all super, super excited for our game this morning.
Hmm.
But before we launch into action, we have to take the time to give a big thank you to the people that make the support for this event possible. The SGC, or the Space Grand Challenge, would not be possible without the vision, generosity, and partnership of our sponsors. Organizations and individuals who believe in empowering the next generation of cybersecurity leaders. Their support helps make this experience immersive, accessible, and inspiring for students around the world. So let's take a moment to highlight and thank the sponsors who helped bring the SGC to life: AWS, Elementrix, Simply Cyber, Paradigm, and Aerospace Village. Once again, a huge thank you to our sponsors for fueling this mission and supporting the future of cybersecurity. Now that we're back, we're going to get into our next segment, which is our Unity room, which is one of our game rooms. And we're so excited to show you. We've been through a bunch of them throughout the
Hmm.
year. So we're only going to highlight one of them to kind of give you a little direction of where to go and what to do and what you guys should be looking for. But,
Yeah.
let's get
This is
started.
the top of the iceberg. I mean, there are 5 of these amazing rooms and 5 challenges within each. Um, my favorite part, I don't know, we've gone through this room a couple times. I like I don't know, the jumping, the moving
Hmm.
mechanics, everything.
And obviously, if you guys have played game before or if you haven't, just,
Oh, true.
give
Good
you a
point.
little highlight. WASD to move, you have your mouse, you have your trackpad, you can click on things. For this room specifically, to go up in the elevator, you use the arrow keys.
Hmm.
It's very self-explanatory, but if you get stuck, again, do not be afraid to reach out to any of our Unity developers. They are here to help you. But our favorite thing this year, obviously, we've been hosting
Hmm.
this program for quite a long time, is our new NPCs.
I know, it's super cool. I like it. It makes the room look a little
Mm-hmm.
bit more lively. There's actual movement. She's working on something. I think that's
Yes.
part of the fun. Um, Obviously a very big update, but also something that we kind of don't want to get into too much because we'll actually learn a little bit more about the NPCs a little bit later.
She
But
looks so
she's
cool.
working.
Yeah,
It's
I
so
mean,
cool.
shout out to our competitors. If you guys competed last year, welcome back. But
Mhm.
this was actually suggested by one of our competitors through our feedback. So please feel free to send any feedback if you guys have any. And who knows, maybe your idea will be put in the
Yeah.
game.
This game gets updated every single year. We
Mm-hmm.
have new rooms, obviously, but also new features.
Yep.
And I don't know, I feel like that's something that I think is very cool about this challenge because it's like, okay, sometimes you just toss feedback into a hat. You're like, okay, I hope. But
Somebody
we
looks
like
at it. Somebody
very
reads
much
it.
actually look at it and we process every single piece of feedback. So it obviously helps us out with this challenge and with the game creation as well. Um,
Yeah.
Talking about challenge.
So when you guys find challenges, there's 5 in each room. And when I say room, I don't mean room in the game. I mean
Hmm.
actual game room. There's 5 challenges per room, and you're gonna find little arrows. So if you guys have played The Sims or maybe done Animal Crossing, and
Hmm.
when you see a little blurb like, "Hey, come talk to me,"
That's a
that's
good
your
point.
"Come talk to me" button. You go over there, you press E, you can interact with it, and they're gonna have a challenge.
And well, everything kind of goes ahead, and I know it all matters. There's numbers on this box. I
Mm-hmm.
saw a 2, a 7, a 5, and a 4. What does that mean? Do you have to go ahead and move those numbers around? There's a sticky note above this. I don't know. So all of this you're going to actually have to take into account, think through these challenges. You get a little bit of story here from the captain, and you're
Mm-hmm.
just going to have to go ahead and see what you can do. So I'm going to go ahead and connect. And never mind. I'm not going to go
Yeah.
ahead and connect. This
Obviously,
is up to you.
we don't want to solve anything for you because we don't want to give you guys any of the answers, but
Hmm.
we're so excited for you guys to try them yourselves. Some of them you may find throughout the room. There may be written documents, or some of your challenges may even say, hey, you should go read this article about this, and this. And we seriously encourage you to go read those. They're going to set you up for success.
Hmm.
Don't skim through them. Maybe grab a notebook, take some notes. Super, super exciting. So let's explore some of the other rooms. Maybe go up the
I mean,
elevator.
I wanted to do a little bit of a Cal Poly
Oh,
plug here
yes.
because we had the Artemis 2 mission. And we have a little Easter egg throughout this live stream, so you should let us know if you see it. But this is also one of the little Easter eggs in the game. We had a Cal Poly alumni on the Artemis 2 mission. So once again, very up to date game here. But it's cool that you can go ahead and check out all of this stuff. Is this important for the game? Is this
No,
view important for the
we
game?
don't know.
Is this the New York skyline? I think.
Maybe.
That looks like the Empire State Building.
It's so long.
So now yeah, I mean, we'll go upstairs and see.
So cool. Look
Okay.
at all these. Whoa. Are those important? Who knows?
Potentially. That's the stuff that we were just showing off.
Yeah, those are
That's
our
cool.
CubeSats. They're around somewhere. We'll put them down.
Some stuff in the background.
Ah, here.
Okay. So this is a interact thing. So
So
now we're
you're
gonna
gonna
go
find
in
them throughout
and
the entire game room. They're gonna be everywhere. So don't worry about it. You guys can go through them. And hey, if you get stuck on one, hey, it's gonna be okay. You can come back to it. You don't have to do them in a specific order, or maybe some of them, but not all of them.
hmm.
But yeah, I really like this room. I think it's cool with the windows.
Oh, definitely. I mean, this is like I don't know, corporate cubicle a little bit, but also at
hmm
the same time still open enough. There's probably good conversation that happens here.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things about our Unity rooms this year. They feel very lived in.
Yes, that
Like
is very true.
I do love that. Our Unity team did a really great job. They feel very lived in, like somebody actually was there, and obviously the NPCs help a lot with that. I am
Hmm.
so happy that they decided to do that. We were hoping to do them last year. Obviously, it didn't work out, but this year there's
Now
so
they're
many
here.
and they're so cool, and I love them. They move around.
I mean,
Feel free to take a good look at them.
these NPCs need to push in their chairs.
I know, rude.
That's just basic office etiquette.
I know, I know.
Oh,
Ooh.
okay, okay. Well, since I opened it,
Wow.
okay. There's some cool stuff here and a challenge.
Yeah, so feel free to look around. Some challenges may be hiding, but there is 5 for per game room. So if you haven't
Yes.
done all 5, then you're missing one.
I mean, one part of it is we get to obviously walk through this room and we
Hmm.
can kind of go ahead and talk about a few things, and we're going to be careful. And we'll go ahead and walk through two more of these
Yes, with our Unity
throughout the stream.
developers.
Yes.
Hmm.
And that's the nice thing about it because they'll be able to tell you about how they made the room, what things to look out for. They'll
Hmm.
maybe have a couple of sneak peeks. So there's a reason today to stay in today's stream. Obviously, we appreciate you for watching, and maybe you'll get a little hint here and there for staying tuned in.
Yeah, a little building off a little bit on that. If you're interested in game development, like Unity is a very, very popular game
Hmm.
engine that, a lot of people use. So it's very cool to get into. I mean, I know a lot of my friends use it, and obviously our Unity team used it to build these wonderful rooms for you. So if you guys have any specific questions that you want us to ask us, like, or want us to ask them, feel free to put them in the Twitch chat. Otherwise, we're going to go through the room with them and they're going to explain to us how they did everything. It's going to be awesome.
Totally.
Wow.
Well, I think, I don't know, without getting into the challenges too much, I think we did a good job showing this
Yeah,
one
this
off.
is
I mean,
this is a
there's
good one.
3 floors to this,
Mhm.
so there's a lot to explore. There's a lot of numbers, a lot to learn. Obviously, once again, these challenges are the first time that you're running through them.
Yep.
There's a lot of value to that because the first time you do any sort of challenge or any sort of puzzle, that's the most fun version of it.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know. I'm jealous that you'll be able to run through all of these rooms with a fresh mind. So
Yeah.
we hope you enjoy.
Yeah, a lot of rooms, a lot of points to earn. And just a reminder again, if you guys get stuck, feel free to reach out to us at
SGC support at calpoly.edu.
EDU. Yep. Our Unity team is here to help you and we want
Hmm.
you guys to succeed and we have full confidence that you will. Now, we're going to cut to a short break and be back with an pre-recorded interview with our
It's somebody who actually has to stay anonymous,
Ooh,
which sounds kind of wild,
scary.
but it is actually very cool. The following person, I need to be careful with what I say here because I can't give anything away, but the following person is a white hat hacker. They've been able to infiltrate some systems, some fake banking sites. Um, they're just doing the right thing. But sometimes the right thing gives some people not the right to, but the ability to do some bad things to them. So we have to keep them anonymous
Mhm.
as they tell their story about what they've been able to do, how many people they've been able to save through all of their missions. Um, Super cool. Again, due to the work that she currently does, this definitely still has to stay anonymous. You'll see like a little outline of somebody, but super cool
Yep.
interview. We'll go ahead and give them their own intro and get into this little live stream. So
Right.
let's go ahead and check out this anonymous interview.
See you soon.
Well, to get us started here, would you be able to walk us through your background and how you discovered the internet, hacking, and just the web in general?
Absolutely. Yeah, I graduated in the 80s with a background in graphic design, and I really wanted to go into marketing and advertising. But prior to that, when I was about 12 years old, and so we're talking the 1970s, my father had brought home an Apple I computer. So he was in a place where he was able to buy a computer fairly early, and he decided that it was going to be a good father-daughter activity to learn how to program this computer. There was no hard drive on it, so we had a cassette deck that you had to record your keystrokes onto and then play it back in order to have a program play. And we subscribed to magazines that would send us code. We would learn about the code, input it, and from there, by the time I was about 14 years old, when I was 14, I wrote my first computer program. It was not very sophisticated, but I was really proud of it. So I learned about computers early on. I feel like I can relate to a lot of more current generations, that grew up with computers. And high school, my math teacher watched me, work with their early computers there. They had IBMs, and he watched me do a little bit of coding. And I was probably like a junior, senior in high school. And so he said, "You're my TA." So he had me going around the class and checking everybody's code. So in that sense, I was already interested in it. I graduated into an environment where there were no jobs. So the year I graduated, the job market dried up. And it was also the same year that Tim Berners-Lee had invented the World Wide Web. And I was kind of interested in what was happening in the computing world. And by 1991, I guess, I had learned HTML1.
Sure.
I had started a business and had advertised my business on this very early version of the web. And I got more people asking me about how I was creating this web page than I
Hmm.
did people who wanted to buy my product. So I sold the business and went into web development. And by 93, I had opened up a web company. So that's like my early on. I just, I felt like no matter what I tried to do, the
Hmm.
web was calling me. So yeah, that's how I got into web.
I think that's it's an awesome story. I think it's super cool. Starting at Apple One and really working your way up to web development. There's a lot of people and peers that I'm talking to nowadays that are in their early 20s, just like me, and they're following kind of the same path that you did here. I mean, maybe not starting with Apple One, but definitely starting with a computer and kind of working their way up to web development and some of the other kind of computer science, software engineering, engineering based items, and then maybe stepping a little bit into design. And it's now funny talking to you about this because it's almost like you were the innovator in the path. And I have a bunch of questions just generally about the career path that you took, about you being a white hat hacker. But before I get into all of that, what is your personal definition of a white hat hacker?
Yeah, so white hat hacker to me is somebody who uses their ability to gain access to people or systems for the purpose of good. So, like, I follow a very strict rule, code of ethics.
Hmm.
There are certain things I will never do. There is certain information I will not disclose if I find it. And I will let the owner of that information know that their information is exposed if
Hmm.
it's in the context of white hat hacking. And my entire purpose is to help victims not be victimized, to help owners of systems recognize where they have vulnerabilities, and to make sure that if I'm going after criminals, to make sure that they don't know where they're vulnerable, because we don't want to train them, we don't want to teach them.
Okay, perfect. That's exactly what I was looking for. Thank you for sharing. So, as a white hat hacker, how did your journey actually begin? Was there like a first kind of aha moment that made you realize how powerful hacking skills can be, and when they're used for good, how powerful they truly are?
Yeah, so I see hacking as having two different worlds. One of the worlds of hacking is hacking people, and that's really social engineering, which I think in some ways takes a lot more, finesse. Then there's also hacking, which is systems hacking. So I started off actually in social engineering, and I worked with a team to infiltrate groups of criminals. And to do that, I had to either pose as a criminal myself, so I had to think in terms of what their criminal goals were, or to be a victim.
Hmm.
And sometimes as a victim, I would actually create a honeypot in technology and also in terms of social engineering, where and a honeypot pot is basically a very attractive set of a system of technology where the criminal believes that there is something of value in it. And you can either be a honeypot as a victim, where you let them know that you're elderly, you may be cognitively impaired, and you have a lot of money, and so they can start setting up a way to get you to transfer money to them. And a lot of times, I needed to do the social engineering before I could do the systems engineering,
Hmm.
and getting into the systems, because there is information I needed to know about the criminal before I could do any white hat hacking with them. I needed to know what bank they do business with. I needed to know what methodologies of transfer are they using. Are they using bank transfer, PayPal, Venmo? What's going on there.
Hmm.
And then I also needed to know if they were posing as an institution. So a lot of those payment methodologies I used social engineering to expose. I connected with a group that together we came up with a way. We were frustrated because we found somebody who had set up a fake banking site, and they were luring a lot of people to hand over credentials to this fake banking site and also to transfer money
Mm-hmm.
through fraudulent processes. This was on an old Red Hat server, and I knew a little bit about Red Hat servers, and we would basically using what we knew about the server technology, using what we knew about forms and databases, we were able to gain access to the particular areas of LDAP database access into these systems so that we could extract all of the data, which included all of the victims' names and their contact information. So we had to do this quietly, and we
Mm-hmm.
had to do it in a way where the owners of these systems would not know that we were in. We would get in, we would alert all of the victims and make sure that they did not alert the fake bank.
Fair.
And then when we knew for a fact that we had all of the victims notified and everybody out of the fraud, then we would just simply shut down the fake bank. But before we did, we would pose as a victim and ask them, let them know, hey, your site isn't working. Do you have another site?
Mm-hmm.
And inevitably, they would spin up another site or they would have had one already. And so they would give us that access to the next site and let us know where it was. And then we would reconvene
Mm-hmm.
and hit them up all over again. And they did not ever actually catch on. There was a whole group of people that were doing fake bank sites. They were all communicating with each other, very similar coding. So one person had just shared out the code.
Mm-hmm.
And I think by the time we were done, we had taken down 20 sites,
Wow.
each one having anywhere from 20 to 100 victims.
Okay, now with the history that you've gone through, how has this line of work affected your perspective on the web and just security in general?
Yeah. So first, I'll say that I'm happy with a lot of the changes that have taken place in the what almost 30 years I've been working with web technologies. Uh, that I'm seeing a lot more protections out there. I'm really happy with the European standards for privacy, even though I know a lot of people here are a little, they find it a little overbearing. I think those are good moves. I think server technology has become far more advanced and safe. There's a lot of old deprecated systems that, your browser will alert you before you're even out there. So, in recent changes, even in the Chrome browser, a lot of people noticed that their ad blockers no longer work.
Mm-hmm.
That's due to some more security changes that are taking place. So, I'm really happy to see the level of security that's taking place on the technology side. I think really where we're still vulnerable is as human beings, we're still vulnerable to the social engineering side. And so that's where I continue to see, and on one hand, I've done a lot of work with very, um, you know, vulnerable populations like the elderly, cognitively impaired, people who are going through mental health crises. These are a lot of people who can be victimized on top of having difficult situations in their lives. And I think this work of going after the criminals is so important because with every criminal that we're able to move out of the scamming space, it can save 20 to 100 victims.
Mm-hmm.
So, I constantly think about the old story of the person walking down the beach and seeing, hundreds of starfish and throwing one back, and it mattered to that one. I think it matters. It really matters to humans that we protect them. And so I think my perspective on this, I've become very protective of the humans in my orbit too, and making sure that I check in with my older relatives and make sure that they're not falling victims to scams, or checking in with my younger relatives who may have some cognitive impairment and make
Mm-hmm.
sure that they're doing okay too.
Okay, so we talked a little bit about everything here today, and the Space Grand Challenge is a little bit about everything. But the main thing that we are truly pushing for is learning by doing and teaching students through our Capture the Flag or the CTF event. From your perspective, what makes this type of competition so valuable for the students that are playing at home?
Yeah. I think, this, what you're doing is you're encountering technology in a snapshot in time. But, and I've heard people talk about, well, is this going to be outdated and deprecated by the time I get to my 20s or by the time I get to my 30s? What's the use of learning this today if it's going to go by the wayside later on? But the wonderful thing about technology is when you learn something, you have a basis to compare other things to. And, it's really like I always think about learning as being like building out your brain as a basket. And the more you weave into that basket, even if it's, older technology, even if you know that, okay, maybe a couple of years from now it's all going to change, but the more you weave into that basket, the more it holds in the future.
Hmm.
So, um, as a young person, wrapping your head around technology, recognizing strengths and vulnerabilities, recognizing the way things work, how cause and effect, how doing this X, Y, and Z, relates to A, B, and C. All of those things will give you a perspective in the future. So your future work is going to be that much easier and that much more nuanced and informed. So you're really building the foundation of a lifetime of knowledge. And when you get excited about something, it also builds in that passion for learning. And if you can maintain a passion for learning throughout your life, you will have fun every day of your life.
I mean, I think you nailed it right there. The spark for curiosity is probably one of the, like, also my personal opinion, one of the most important, valuable qualities to have as a person. It's like the desire to kind of keep going and keep trying. And the contestants that are now playing the Space Grand Challenge, they're playing it on a Saturday. So that means that they're showing up to a classroom or a club meeting hall and they are working with the team, spending about 8 hours, potentially more, on this CTF challenge just to develop themselves and their skills and I don't know, put themselves out there a little bit more. So first of all, I would just want to go ahead and congratulate everybody here. It's amazing to just see this effort in the first place, and it gives me a little bit of hope for the future. So just like you said, spark for curiosity. It's a basic piece of advice.
Yeah, absolutely. And I am so impressed with this generation, Gen Z and then Gen Alpha right behind them. I, I've been working in education for a long time, and I have to say, I think the students in the last, I would say 5 to 7 years are almost more curious, more excited about learning, more, ask more questions, get more in depth with things than in the entire time I've been teaching and working in education. So it's exciting. It really, I mean, they're giving me hope for the future.
And talking about advice, what is actually one piece of advice that you would give our audience today?
You know, talk with your friends, talk with your coworkers. If somebody's trying to get into a system, tell a coworker and
Hmm.
ask if it looks okay. Get a second set of eyes. You know, in some ways, humans are our best security that we have.
Hmm. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your time and all of the amazing stories and your feedback and everything. I know that I personally learned a lot, so thank you so much for being here and have a good rest of your day.
You're so very welcome. Stay safe out there.
Thank you.
And welcome back. Thank you to, well, Anonymous for the
Yes.
amazing interview. Just a quick little story. So how I actually ended up meeting her was through, well, the Cal Poly like ecosystem.
Hmm.
She ended up showing up to one of our classes, told us a tiny, tiny little bit about the work that she had done. She was like, "Oh, okay, I have worked in the cybersecurity industry," and I was like, "Okay." I'm like, "Well, I technically work in the
Yeah, you were
cybersecurity
like
industry.
neuron
Can
activation there.
Yeah,
Hmm.
exactly. Can we interview her?" And I wasn't 100% sure what she was going to be talking about, but potentially I could go in and kind of ask a few questions, see what her career path looked like. And then we hopped into one of these calls and I learned probably way more than I should have. So if there's a hacker group out there that got busted by her, I don't know who she is. Don't come looking for me. Um, if you don't know who she is, then I don't know, it's a cool connection to have.
Yeah.
Just such a fascinating story. It's
And
somebody like with real cybersecurity, like
mhm.
tactics going into the workforce, truly actually going in and saving people, which is amazing. So super excited about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's super cool because obviously, when you think about cybersecurity, and we're here to kind of showcase a little bit about cybersecurity and the type of jobs and the kind of careers that you can get into
Hmm.
in that field. And you don't really think about white hat hackers. Like, I mean, I didn't think about it. What do you think of hackers? Like, that kind of has a negative connotation. Like, I
True.
don't want anybody hacking my information. And I hate it when I hop onto my Netflix and I swear there's other accounts that I didn't make are on there. I have no idea what's going on. But white hat hackers, I mean, that's so, so cool. If you're interested in hacking and you want to do it, to help people,
Yeah. It's the healthy way.
the
Yes.
healthy
Yeah,
way
yeah,
to kind of exert that creative flow. And
hmm,
obviously, she has to be anonymous because, well,
yeah. Important.
some people are,
They don't like her.
yeah, unwanted guests will want her
$1 billion.
gone. Yes, yes, they will want her gone. But thank you so much for showcasing and sharing, shout out to her. Thank you for
Mhm,
sharing your story with us and, sharing your story with the audience and,
mhm,
our advice and everything. So, moving on,
mhm.
we want to talk a little bit about our game, and we see a lot of you guys are earning points on the
It's
screen
super
behind us.
cool.
You guys can't see it, but we have this huge monitor behind us. It showcases all our teams. We see, not in any specific order, but I see some cool names. Cyber Firebirds.
I saw the exact same one.
Yeah,
It's like, okay, wait, that one
that's
stands
a
out.
cool name.
I like the Artemis too. I was
Yes,
talking about the Artemis too.
yes, Artemis too. I
Hmm.
mean, that was so cool. Space, so 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 fun. Happy Pickles, that's fun. North Hollywood. Whoa.
Well, and I feel like the fun about this is that we can see everybody kind of jumping
Mhm.
around. It's like, okay, this is a real competition, and all of you are now currently fighting for that first place spot.
Yes, and we will announce who is first towards the end of our
Hmm.
broadcast. But keep fighting in the meantime. We can see you guys going, and we are rooting for each and every one of you. Of
Keep it
course,
up.
I may pick a favorite. Should we place our bet on a team?
I won't say it out loud, but
Yes.
I'll
Yeah, mental
I'll
bet on
tell
a
you.
team, and we'll let you know if you guys are making us proud for
Yeah, yeah.
sure. Well, moving on, we are gonna get into our next interview,
Hmm.
which is a live interview with one of our team members, Clara. She's back there, and she's gonna come up very very soon. She works with the SGC, stay there, and the Unity team. And she's going to work and tell us a little bit about what she does at Cal Poly, what she does for the team, and also a lot more about CubeSats because she
Hmm.
does love those. So we're going to see you guys very soon with a quick break, and we'll be back soon. Okay, bye. Welcome back, everyone. My name is Madeline Hott, and this is.
My name is Clara Davis.
And we are here. Thank you so much for joining me at the desk today, Clara. I'm so excited to ask you a couple questions. Are you excited to be here?
Yes, I am.
Yay!
It's my first SGC.
Oh my
I'm having fun
goodness.
already.
Yay! Oh, we're so excited for you. So, do you mind telling the viewers a little bit more about yourself and what you do at the SGC?
Yeah. So I'm a computer science master's student here at Cal Poly.
Mm-hmm.
My focus is mainly cybersecurity here at the California Cybersecurity Institute. I've helped with 3D assets and Blender work for the game itself, and then an extra special side project where I'm developing flight software for a little CubeSat sim, just like this.
CubeSats!
It's crazy. It's fun.
Yeah, I met Clara like very early into the year during the SGC this year, and she is always working on these little things.
Yeah.
They're so
It's taken a
cool.
long time, but it is really fun.
Yeah, no, you're always saying that. Can you please tell our viewers a little bit about what CubeSats are if they're not familiar with them?
So a CubeSat is basically it's a small satellite. It's developed here at Cal Poly, which is awesome, and a joint research with Stanford, I believe. But it's a very economical and affordable way to build space tech and get a lot of missions done efficiently and quickly.
Man, that's really, really cool. What got you interested in CubeSats and space technology in general?
So I kind of stumbled into it, honestly.
Really?
Yeah. So I was originally focused on cybersecurity. That's my main interest.
Mm-hmm.
And I did some cybersecurity research with a professor here, and then he said, "Hey, do you want to join a cybersecurity satellite research group?" And I said, "Sure, that
Whoa.
sounds cool." And then it turns out it was cool. So I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, I understand that you were part of the Cal Poly Security Club.
Mm-hmm.
What type of position do you hold there, if any?
I'm the vice president at the Security Education Club. I've given talks. I've organized a club trip to B-Sides, which is a San Francisco-based cybersecurity conference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and just organize the meetings, organize people. A lot of organization.
That's super, super cool. What has been the most exciting part about working with Cal Poly and CubeSats in general?
Oh gosh. There's a lot. That sounded mean, but oh gosh, there's a lot of good
pick
stuff.
Like one or two. We're so here for that.
I think the opportunity to work on flight software for this, it's using NASA JPL's F Prime flight software.
Okay.
And that is actually proven and on a CubeSat in space. It's really robust software, and getting to learn that and put it onto this, and it's very learn by doing, and it's very industry applicable.
That is our motto here at Cal Poly. We want you guys to learn by doing. Cal Poly definitely throws you into the deep end, I would say, on a lot of things. I mean, in my experience, in my own major, my own schooling experience, I've definitely been thrown into the deep end one too many times, and it's either sink or swim. But Cal Poly students, we're gonna swim. We got it. Okay, moving on. Your work connects to cybersecurity with space systems, which is something a lot of people don't really think about, I think. How do those two areas come together in CubeSat development?
I feel like with everything, there needs to be security implemented by design and from the start, rather than having security tacked on at the end. Traditionally, a lot of old satellites, they don't have encryption, meaning so anybody can intercept the radio waves communicating back and forth.
That sounds dangerous.
Yeah, it is. Depending on, I guess, what you're transmitting, but there's a big shift to have that encryption in from default. It just historically hasn't really been too much of a cybersecurity hasn't been too much of a consideration in space, but it is moving towards that, I guess.
Man, that's super, super cool.
Yeah.
Recently, from my understanding, 2 Cal Poly students were selected to go to this RSA conference, cybersecurity conference, and you were one of them. Do you mind telling our viewers a little bit more about RSA, what it is, and what that was like for you as an experience?
Yeah. So RSA is another San Francisco-based cybersecurity conference, but it is one of the largest, if not the largest.
Wow.
And So me and another student were allowed, like, we were selected to go on a scholarship, and it was really fun.
Oh my
I got
gosh.
to meet Whitfield Diffie of the Diffie-Hellman, like the key exchange method. It's cryptography. It's fun. Um,
Could you
but
talk a little bit more about who that is?
he like is him and Whitfield Diffie, and then I think it's like Marty Hellman
Mm-hmm.
created the Whitfield the Diffie-Hellman key exchange, and using like public and private key cryptography, basically, um, it's what allows secure communication to happen over the internet without having to like necessarily know someone's private key,
Huh.
and just like you can verify that you sent a message by like signing it with your private key, and someone could verify that it was from you with like their public key, and it's
Whoa.
it's really fascinating. It's really revolutionary tech, but I got to meet him. um, but for the rest of our RSA, it was really fun. There's a huge vendor hall. You could walk through, get some company swag. The security scholars group I was a part of had about like 65 students.
Huh.
So it's a really nice group to be a part of. I met another Clara there, which is pretty crazy.
Whoa, yay, more Claras.
Um, and it's just a really awesome support network. I
How
think you'll make a lot of friends.
how did you find like that opportunity? Did you just, reach out somewhere? Or did you see the
That was
scholarship?
through the CCI. I was
Yay!
told about that.
Wow, that's wonderful. I'm so glad that you got to experience that. And I'm sure it was very, very cool. I mean, you called it revolutionary tech. I mean, how often does somebody our age get to experience something like
Hmm.
that? Revolutionary tech. Moving on from that, recently, I believe it was on April 15th, if I'm not 100%, maybe 100%. Um, you presented at Cal Poly CubeSat Developers Workshop alongside our very own Henry
Hmm.
Danielson. What was that experience like?
It was fun as well.
Yeah.
I'm just having a lot of fun with the space cybersecurity
A
stuff.
lot of
It's
fun
great.
and a lot of opportunities here at Cal Poly.
So Henry and I got to present about the flight software that I've been developing, and then like it was partially my work to get like uplink working, and then the
Mm-hmm.
downlink working was for a JPL intern working on the project concurrently, and then like getting the radio working was another Cal Poly student. It's been a really great collaborative effort.
Huh.
um, but we got to present, and the crowd took it well, got a lot of good
Yay.
questions, and Henry also talked about like um, pen testing satellites.
Huh. Can you tell us a little bit more about your development process? Like you said that you were kind of developing. How do you go about it? Do you structure it a certain way and then go in, or is it like what's your process going through it?
So the strength of the F prime flight software is that it's like a really modular framework. So you can kind of like take pieces and plug them in here and or plug them in there,
Mm-hmm.
um, which makes it really like flexible for whatever application you want. Um, the f- I think just straight away the first challenge was um, like learning F prime and C++. But
Yeah.
after that, it's been relatively straightforward. But it's just another bug is like radio software. That's another thing I had zero knowledge of before going into this, and now I know about like ham radio framing
Huh.
protocols. And
You
so just learning that.
You said it was like a team effort. Like, okay, you handled one section and then another person handled the radio section and you
Mhm.
guys all came together. What does like the collaboration look like between a team working with something that you would call pretty revolutionary
Um,
technology?
so me and the other Cal Poly student, we got to like actually work on it together in person.
Mm-hmm.
With the other girl, she was a JPL intern in Pasadena. So,
Wow.
um, and so a lot of our communication was just like email based
Hmm.
collaboration, and also some like a Zoom meeting.
Okay. Well, moving back to your presentation a little bit, it covered NASA's FF Prime flight software and AMSAT integration. What does that mean in a way that our viewers can understand?
So NASA F Prime is their flight software framework.
Mm-hmm.
AMSAT is the organization that like creates these like model educational uh, CubeSats. Technically, I think the model name is CubeSat Sim, and then AMSAT is like the organization.
Okay.
But the goal is to have like F Prime is an open source project, and so is CubeSat Sim. You can 3D print this. You can buy the boards, or you can get them like manufactured.
Really?
So it's all open source. It is uh, the goal is to basically have an educational tool like this for students to use using to give them the ability to work with actual like flight proven software
Mm-hmm.
on hardware, uh, so they can either just like learn how to build satellites or maybe even hack pen test the satellites. It'd be
Ooh.
fun.
And talking about hackers
Yeah.
recently. I mean, it's so cool because obviously you mentioned, and we mentioned earlier, Cal Poly actually helped build these,
hmm
which is super, super awesome. I mean, that's a wonderful opportunity. How has being part of the Cal Poly CCI and the Cal Poly Security Club helped you get involved with opportunities like this?
Um, so I think I don't know. It's just the more it seems like the more community you have, the CCI has a, like and the Security Education Club, they're both like large
Yeah.
communities, and the more of like a support network,
Mm-hmm.
and people who want to help and like have the same kind of
Interests.
background of
Yeah.
knowledge. Yeah, I think that will help you get into a lot of new opportunities.
Okay. Next thing I want to ask is for students watching who might be interested, what's the best way to get started in clubs like yours?
I think just show up to the first meeting. Um, so the cybersecurity club here, our first meeting of the year is like walking to the donut store, and we had like 70 people to wrangle the first meeting. Um, and a handful of people are like since that first meeting just show up consistently to every meeting, become the part of like the core group, eventually like contribute to like presentations. So I think just like showing up, being present, you don't have to know everything to begin with. That is what cybersecurity clubs like us are here for. We're here to teach you. And we do like weekend
Yeah.
cybersecurity challenges and such. Um,
Man, what are those like? Like putting those on fun?
yeah. We participate in those. Sometimes it'll just be like for the weekend. Sometimes it's like practice problems to like prep for actual weekend
Mm-hmm.
competitions. Um, and we also have a CTF officer who is present to like help anybody interested learn how to complete these cybersecurity challenges. So we're very open to teaching people. We'll have
Yay.
people come in with like zero knowledge, and that's fine. So
I know this is maybe an odd question, but have you ever done a hackathon?
a hackathon. If you count a CTF as a hackathon, yes, because we're actually hacking things.
Huh.
For in terms of like building projects type hackathon, I can't say I've
Well, that's
formally.
okay. That's close enough. Where do you hope this experience at Cal Poly and all the projects and presentations and wonderful opportunities you've had can take you next?
I'm hoping to stay in cybersecurity and aerospace, so maybe like uh, NASA long term. That would be really cool. Um, I'm gonna be working at JPL this summer, which is really
Whoa,
really
so
fun.
exciting!
And just ideally, I'd like to stay in this realm, or at least just cybersecurity.
Huh. Well, finally, and my last question is why do you think people should care about CubeSats and cybersecurity?
They're cool.
They're
Just look at
awesome.
them. Like
They're
there's
so
like
cool.
you can launch this thing into space and it will send you data back. Not this thing, like particular. Um, but I feel like a lot of people kind of underestimate how much we rely on CubeSats and
Mm-hmm.
satellite technology for like satellite internet and GPS
Yep.
and like weather monitoring, monitoring, um, all sorts of things. So I feel like people should pay more attention to them and appreciate them more, and especially considering how critical the things that how critical the things that satellites give us are, and like protecting that infrastructure. So you don't want GPS to go down when you're in the middle of nowhere, or you want to have
Exactly.
the ability to do like satellite phone calls, good internet. Um, those are things we take for granted.
No,
And
I absolutely agree. I mean, I know we were talking about it earlier in our story, and I'm sure you're familiar with it as well, but over 100 million users worldwide with no internet. I mean, Ben and I were saying that we get annoyed whenever our internet goes down, and obviously I'm sure everybody else does too. I thought the GPS bit that you
Mhm.
did was pretty funny because I've always said I have a horrible sense of direction, and if I didn't have Google Maps, I would not get anywhere ever, so that would be horrible for me. But another in other news, thank you so much for joining me at the desk today,
Yeah,
Clara. I appreciate it.
thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with our viewers, and we really, 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 really are happy for you and your career and your like, you know, ascending to life after college.
Thank you. Yeah.
So thank you so much, and we're gonna cut to a short break where we will be having our next segment, which is going to be our captcha game. So we'll be back very, very soon. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
And I'm back.
Yes, Ben is back. So happy to have you back. I mean, I
Hello.
miss Clara. I'm sure
That's
we
true.
all
Well,
do,
I was about
but
to say, it was super cool. Learned more about CubeSat.
yes.
Funny enough, during that little time when I wasn't sitting here, I walked the hallways right here of the Advanced Technology Center,
Mm-hmm.
or Advanced Technology Laboratories,
Yes,
the ATL
ATL.
for Cal Poly Space, and I saw a flyer that said 27 years of CubeSat, which,
What?
I don't know, you were just talking about
I
CubeSat, so I was
know.
like, wait a minute, this and
Mm-hmm.
the thing that we're currently doing.
Cal Poly learn
And
by
yeah,
doing.
I know,
We're
exactly.
doing.
So super cool.
No, it's super, super awesome. I mean, I had a great time talking with Clara and all the wonderful opportunities that she's been awarded at Cal Poly, obviously because she deserves them and she is so smart. And I always love speaking to her when we go into the office. She always has something cool and
Mhm.
exciting to share. Or
Well,
actually,
and she convinced me to join the security club. That's the first thing. I feel like it's super cool. Also, at the same time, I don't know. There is one thing that we have coming up a little bit later. In
mm-hmm.
about an hour and 15 minutes, we have team interviews,
Yes.
which means if you are watching this stream right now, you have an opportunity to be on the stream if you're playing the game.
Yep.
All you have to do is join the Discord. We're
Mm-hmm.
going to go ahead and then pull you. So, in about an hour and 15 minutes,
Yes.
pull you into our general Discord chat. And simply, we are just going to go ahead and ask you a few questions.
About the game, what you
hmm
think,
What
maybe how
you've,
you're going through
how
it.
it's been, how you're
Yeah.
enjoying it.
How's
So,
your day?
exactly.
Everything.
Favorite color?
Yeah, exactly. We just want to learn a little bit more about you, about the competitors playing our game, because
Mhm.
we at the SGC, we're rooting for you. We want you to win. Yes, you watching the stream right now. We want you to
Mhm.
win. But moving on a little bit,
Yeah.
we're going to get into our next segment, which is the CAPTCHA game. But before we get into the CAPTCHA game, I do want to say a little bit about CAPTCHA, what it is, and kind of like, a little bit about our idea of it. So,
Okay.
CAPTCHA stands for, are you ready?
Okay.
Completely automated public Turing test to tell computers and humans apart. It's a lot of
That is 10
words.
words.
I know.
How many letters in CAPTCHA? 6, but 10 words? How does that
10
make sense?
words.
Maddie, can you explain this to me?
I
How
mean,
does that
in
make sense?
simple terms, it is a security tool used to make sure a person interacting with a website is not a robot. And I'm sure you guys have experienced it. You guys see the little bot, it says, "Hey, I'm not a robot." Or it says, "Hey, how about you click all the fire hydrants?" And I'm
hmm
going to keep showing you the fire hydrants 7 more times. And it gets to the point where you're like, this is a little ridiculous. I feel like I can tell the fire hydrants, but that's
hmm
okay. Modern day CAPTCHAs have evolved far beyond just typing distorted letters or clicking the fire hydrants or obviously just clicking the box. Some systems don't even require you to click anything at all. They're working in the background, constantly verifying your humanity. So basically, every time you pass a CAPTCHA, you're winning against a robot. So
hmm
that's a big win for humanity there.
That is a big win.
So why do we need CAPTCHA in the first place, Ben? Do you know?
I somewhat know. I think it's to keep us safe, make sure that like
Yes.
websites don't get botted, but I'm guessing you know maybe a
Yeah,
little
I
bit
mean,
better.
that's pretty much it. Like,
Okay.
you want to make sure that websites don't get botted. Bots are constantly trying to make like spam websites or create fake accounts or steal data or overload the system with traffic.
hmm
CAPTCHAs act as a front line defense against these attacks. It helps protect login pages, online polls, ticket sales, and large scale platforms from being overwhelmed and kind of manipulated. Obviously, if you guys have ever bought a ticket for a concert or something and then you guys are like, hey, before you buy the ticket you
The
need to
worst.
verify that you're human. You want to make sure that you guys aren't buying those resale prices.
hmm
The stadiums and the artists want to make sure that you guys are buying, or the person buying the tickets is a real human being.
hmm
So beyond just blocking bots, CAPTCHA also represents something bigger. It's part of an ongoing battle between human intelligence and artificial intelligence. As bots become more advanced, CAPTCHAs have to become smarter, more creative, and sometimes even more challenging. And Ben and I have been getting a little jealous that you guys have been playing the game all day, and we want
hmm
to play a game ourselves. So we're going to play
The
the
CAPTCHA
CAPTCHA
game.
game. All right.
I know that you gave us a little bit of an intro here, but one of the things that always confused me is, well, this is so simple. Why can't a robot just go ahead and click this box
Yeah,
there and
I
call it a
mean,
day? Well, one of the cool things is obviously we can see this. For a lot of the times, a robot actually won't be able to, but that's relatively simple to get past. I've
Mm-hmm.
seen people code things before where a literal robot will go ahead and
Press the
click this,
button.
and it's
Yes.
just image recognition from a kind of outside of the computer perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then the next part of it is image recognition,
Yep.
like being able to recognize this image.
I
So
mean, I'm sure we're all very familiar with this. I mean, typically it's the fire hydrant or the school buses. Stop signs are very familiar too. I mean,
a
it's pretty easy.
classic.
You just click the four, not too hard.
Are
I mean,
you a stop sign pole includer, or are you not a stop sign pole includer?
unfortunately, I always include the poll and it's always wrong. I
Oh,
don't
okay.
know why I do
Okay, I
that.
trust you then. We'll go ahead and just move forward
I
with
do
only
always
the
do it.
stop sign. Okay.
Oh, gosh.
Okay. I actually have a cool fact about
Yeah,
this.
I know. This is your favorite.
I really like this because it goes into human evolution a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and it's pattern recognition. Okay, well, if I see a lion in the grass, obviously that's bad. So now I'm recognizing the pattern of a lion in the
In the
grass,
grass.
so I can go ahead and survive. So we got human pattern recognition. Well, in this, it's very easy for us to see there is a
YHRPCD.
YHRCD. But for robots, I mean, don't get me wrong, this is moving around a lot, so this might even be confusing for us.
Mm-hmm.
But for a robot, it's going to go ahead and read all of the pixels, and you're going to go down the screen, and you're going to go in and read these letters. But all of these different lines in the background going through it, you're like, okay, I can't decipher what kind of letters are in all of this mess because it's too many letters going
Yep.
on because it's just a bunch of random lines. But again, human evolution told us pattern recognition.
Yeah, we
So,
know that Y. We know
yeah,
that
yeah.
H.
Well, and now I'm saying lions and grass made sure that we could do the capture game in the future. So thank you,
Wow.
lions and grass.
Thank
We
you,
appreciate
lions.
that.
Vegetables.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay. This is easy.
Okay, I'll let you.
I got this
I
one.
think a tomato is a fruit, which I know people are going to hate me for, but the seeds are on the inside of
Okay.
it. So it's come from a flower that's bloomed, turned into a fruit,
I'm
I
trusting you.
think. Nice.
Nice.
Okay, that's
Good
pretty good.
job. Thank you,
Thank you.
Ben. Intersections.
I took a botany
Whoa.
class,
Did you
so
actually?
yeah. I was about to say now I know my fruits from my vegetables. Thank you, Cal Poly.
Wonderful. Learn by doing. Gosh,
Nice.
this is a crazy
I mean,
road.
pattern recognition once again.
Yeah.
This is a little confused. If you asked me to merge on this highway, I would.
No.
I don't know.
No. If
I'd
you
be
ask
like,
me to merge on this highway, no. How about
I'll
no?
just go home.
Yeah, another thing, pattern recognition. I mean, we can tell, like, okay, this one's under, that one's
Mhm.
over. And then obviously, one of the most important things is the middle. You have to make sure that the cars are going the
Well,
right
we have
way.
some roads not lining
Oh,
up, I think. Maybe
oh,
this
maybe I
one.
had it right before there. Or
That
is
looks
this lined
good.
up? Yes, I'm gonna go for it.
Nice.
Yes, tic-tac-toe. Imagine if you had to play a tic-tac-toe game to get into your Netflix account
That'd be
or
brutal.
Hulu.
I mean, there is like a system behind winning tic-tac-toe. The problem is if you go first, the odds of you winning are like so slim. So we're probably gonna lose. Yeah. We'll
Okay,
just
your
have to try
turn.
again. If I get to go first, it's okay. And it's
Nice.
easier. Should I go in the middle or should we make this more difficult?
Do it whatever way you want.
Okay, I
I mean,
want a
I'd say
corner.
more difficult.
Okay. I'm gonna go
Oh, you're gonna try to do the wait, go here and then there?
I think corner.
Oh.
No. I should have gone across. Well, we tried.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe we shouldn't do corner.
No. I have tech. Watch this.
Oh, nice. You play video games?
I'm a winner.
Do you-
I'm a winner. Do I play video games?
Just a
I
little
was a dominant force on tic-tac-toe in middle school.
fair.
I knew all the
I
tech.
see it.
Yeah,
It's pretty
I know.
good.
I
You kind of killed that.
performance.
Okay.
What is your least favorite capture game? Do you have one?
I hate the ones where it like phases out and then it comes back in because of like the wait time. So it's like you were
Huh.
talking about, it's like click the fire hydrants and you click like 7 fire hydrants and then like it slowly will phase out the photo and it takes like 3 seconds and then it will phase it back in. It's like that was like this is like a cutscene. It's like I'm quite literally waiting for this fire hydrant to phase in, and then you're like sitting there like looking at this thing. You're like, that gonna be a fire hydrant or a
I don't
horse?
know.
Have
Yeah,
you done,
I
have you
hate
seen those
those
before?
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate the ones where they're like, "Oh, I want you guys to click the fire hydrants or the stop signs," and it's like, "Oh, or all the motorcycles." I hate
Yes.
the motorcycle one because for some reason the game They like to mess with me, and I swear they always put a scooter, and it counts it as a motorcycle.
That is true.
That's not a motorcycle. That's a scooter.
That is
I
actually a
don't
good
know
point.
why
That's
you would
fine.
call it a
No,
motorcycle.
fair.
It isn't. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't understand.
Oh, have you seen the super blurry photos before? I've had one. I don't know why. So this was actually a good question because I'm gonna go on a tangent here. I remember getting like a box that was like it was like click old elephants. It was like some sort of animal, and it was like super blurry, like just like gray photo, and I was like, I think so. It's like it was like
Is that
horrible.
gray?
Yeah, it's like okay, it's like there's probably some form of animal in there.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure that
I'm sure it exists. It exists. I'm sure. I'm
that's
just
true.
not 100% sure.
No,
I mean, there's been we can get into it, but I don't want to stay on this too long. Stop sign.
I actually see it.
Do you? Oh gosh.
ST.
Wait. Oh.
Oh.
It's not right.
I don't know how. That was actually way quicker than I usually am
Where's
for this stuff, so I'm not sure how that works.
I'm gonna find bang.
Nice. That's pretty good.
Nice.
And it looks
Look
like
at
a
us.
7.
Team.
I don't know why
Teamwork.
that's
No.
pattern recognition.
Pattern recognition. Another one of these.
Mm-hmm. The perpetrator's license plate.
Do we know where this is?
The UK?
Maybe.
I'm not sure. What kind of car is it? I'm gonna say the UK. I
Yeah.
think that's fair.
It's a small car. It gives UK a little bit. Another
We've
one.
done
Do you
this.
want to go that one?
This is easy.
Yeah.
Here, I got.
Oh.
Oh, that's kind of big. Oh. Okay, well that worked. Okay. Oh. Oh.
Okay, keep clicking.
Oh.
Oh gosh. Oh, okay. There we
Okay,
go.
okay.
There we go.
At least it didn't get like too micro.
Yeah, that's nice.
This would have gotten pretty miserable pretty
Yeah.
quickly. Well, now you can see what my clicking speed is. How many clicks per second do you think?
This annoys me because it's like,
I know, like the smidges
yeah,
of it.
what are you gonna count as a stop sign?
I should probably get the middle.
Yeah, of course.
Are we doing those 2 quarters?
I say verify it, and if it's nice, okay, mole. You have to whack-a-mole. You got that. Nice. Obviously, I've never
No.
seen captures like this.
No.
Oh, evading. Nice.
That was pretty good.
You
Okay,
you
not
own
bad.
that. I mean,
I'm just
obviously,
saying, I play some video games.
I've never played captures like this, but there was this new
This would be
captcha that I saw.
frustrating.
Like, yeah, that would be frustrating.
Mhm.
There was this new captcha that I saw recently while logging into my Cal Poly portal, because obviously we are both Cal Poly students,
Mhm.
and it was like this photo, and the best way I can describe it is like aura. Like it's just like no, I'm serious. It was like aura, like just like aura
Like, just like a-
colors, like
Oh,
colors,
okay,
like
yeah.
actual
Like I was
aura.
gonna say, like a pink
Yeah,
circle with some
exactly,
stuff.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And it was like move this circle into the center of the aura, which could have been like anywhere because there
Oh,
was
weird.
multiple circles.
Wait, that is
I
kind
was
of
like,
interesting.
that is so cool. I wish I got a photo of it, but if you guys see it, just
The
know you heard it from me first. It was
puzzle piece ones. I know those have been like
Yeah.
showing up more with like a slider, like you click it and then like move
you
the
move it
puzzle piece
over.
in.
Yes,
That's
that's true. That's
interesting.
true. That's true. I mean, it always annoys me, and obviously this is just a personal gripe. I'm like, man, why do I need a captcha for my Cal Poly school
True.
email? Like, what are they gonna do? Go and pay my tuition? Like, let them pay my tuition. It's okay.
Or do your homework.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
man.
okay. It's okay. Moving on. Oh gosh. If I had
I-
to do a captcha of where's Waldo to get
Every
into
time.
anything, I'm not getting into
Yikes.
anything.
Yeah, no, that would be bad. We
Oh,
might
gosh.
we might ask Twitch chat for help here because
Yeah.
this is a rough one. I mean, he's in there somewhere, right?
Oh, of course.
Surely.
Did you ever do these as a kid?
I did.
Yeah,
I remember I always did them at the dentist's office. Made the
Really?
dentist a tiny bit more fun. No hatred to dentists, but
Gosh. No, I used to do them at my Nana's house.
oh,
Shout
that is
out my
also fun.
Nana D. She had these books and we would go through them, and I am probably the least observational person ever. So it would take me so long, but my brother spots them immediately.
Instantly.
Instantly. It's almost like infuriating. Do you have siblings?
I have a half sister.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
almost infuriating when your sibling is so much better than you at one thing, and it's just, I can't do it.
I mean, you might be the one trying to find Waldo here because I am currently struggling. I mean, I see people with glasses on. Oh, I think I I was about to say. I think we saw him there
We
at the
got
same time.
it. Yay!
That is pretty good. Nice. You are observational. What do you mean?
I
That
don't
was
know.
good.
I think we were both just looking at the same spot. But that's good.
Oh,
See, this is what I hate. I hate that. But obviously this is
well, now
easy
I'm
because
hungry.
you can tell that these are chihuahuas, but sometimes they're like, "Oh, name the motorcycle." And it's a scooter. That's a scooter. It's not a motorcycle and you're going to count it anyways. Are these all the
Okay, but
chihuahuas?
what about that one? He kind of looks like it. Look at him. Look
It's
at
not-
him. Look at how cute he is.
Aw, they're
Or that
so
one.
tiny.
He's also so cute. Okay,
The
never mind.
traffic oh,
Are you include the corn?
without of traffic.
Oh, I did not read that.
I did not read it either.
My comprehensive reading grade would have gone down right there. That would have been a
Does this
mistake.
count? Because it's like
I don't. I think it's only traffic light, so I think the sign is okay to click.
in the pool. Oh, I think
I
this
know.
is
I
up.
think the yellow part is part of the traffic light.
Let's see. Nice. Oh goodness.
I'm not a robot.
I'm a robot.
I'm potentially a robot.
I'm a robo-caller. I'm a TI-95. I'm a military drone.
You know what would
I'm a
help here?
CAPTCHA.
Fair. I was gonna say, you know what would help here? A robot. Stupid enough because you could just be like, hey, or we can command F. Actually, no, I'm not gonna cheat.
You're gonna try and beat the system?
I know. I was gonna say so.
What?
Human intelligence is gonna save
But
us.
we
here a little
are
bit.
human intelligence.
Okay.
Pattern recognition.
Well, all of these patterns look the same. That one.
No.
Okay, my
that's-
bad. It literally says it. I am not.
I am not a
robot.
robot.
Oh, okay.
Read.
It's left driving.
Sorry.
Is it? Oh, okay. I thought it was arrow key.
Wait,
Wait,
am
that
I
was kind
pro?
of quick.
Oh.
Oh, you have to back in. Oh, you are. I would not want to be in the parking lot while you're driving. That's fat. No, your car. You bumped your car. That was pretty good.
Bag. Okay, let's see you do it. See, my
Was it-
process may have been out of the ordinary, but it works.
Was it WASD or arrows? Wait, what?
It's WASD,
Do I need to click?
and you
it?
need to press W and
Oh,
yeah,
W
that's
is
why it's
forward.
hard.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna wait for this car to pass.
Mhm.
Human
Imagine
intellect
if you
here.
had to do this every time you wanted to get into any site ever.
Yeah, that would be a mess.
Miserable.
Don't mind that.
Did you crash into the
No.
curb?
The
You got
grass
it, you got
crashed
it, you
into
got
me.
it.
I'm gonna wait for that car.
Nice. Good
Thank
foresight.
you.
Nice. Ooh, nice and steady.
That was pretty good.
Good stuff.
I only crashed my car once. Oh, what is that?
Okay, pattern recognition.
My
we see the
human pattern
bee.
recognition does not work for this. It's
It doesn't?
spinning. What do you mean?
I
Is the
see B.
line spinning?
Honestly, the the only problem. Oh, we have to figure out which one's the 9 and which one's the 6.
I think
'cause-
that's a 6. It's mainly staying upright, right? Because
Okay.
otherwise it would turn
6,
4,
4,
9,
9,
PE.
P, E.
That's pretty good.
Nice.
How
Yeah,
many
this
levels are
is
on
this is
it?
cool because I've
Oh, you
actually
can turn
done
it.
these before, and you can
my
turn them,
God.
which I didn't realize until way after I was doing it.
That's actually pretty good. I did not know either.
Yeah, it's actually very cool that you guys can do this
That is funny.
because they do know. I remember I did one of these. I can't remember what I was trying to sign into, but it was a captcha that I did. And it was like, if you're having a hard time, turn it. I was like, turn
That's
it?
wild.
It's like,
I did not know that.
I was
Okay.
like, that's a little dramatic, but okay. It
mean,
really does
part of
annoy me
fun.
that they have a 6 and a 9. You guys can just put one
Yeah,
of
fair.
them.
No, true.
It's okay.
I mean, you gotta make it confusing for the computer.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Do we have to include the periods?
No,
6.
I think we
4.
messed up the 6 and the 9. I'm telling you, we messed up the 6 and the 9. See, that's evil.
You think so?
Yes. Unless we're silly.
Oh, no way. That is actually pretty good.
exactly what I was complaining about. Why would they do that?
Dang. Okay. Good catch on your end. I was like, yeah, it's a 6 and a 9. No.
Yeah,
Okay, I guess not.
no,
Okay.
it's so frustrating. Draw. Okay, ready?
I'm not artistic, so well,
well, you
is
don't
drawing a
have to be.
circle a art thing? My last name is Arts. I should. Oh. Oh. Here, wait. I'll give you a mouse.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
That should help.
Is it connected?
Oh, okay. Now I think so. Oh, it's because we failed it. All right.
There we go. Okay. Be prepared for greatness. Okay.
Almost. Whoa. Big circle.
Wait, I have 80.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like slow and steady wins the race.
You try.
Well, I could get the. I think trackpad's gonna be my friend here.
Ooh.
Oh, it kind of had some corners
Oh,
there.
that was good.
92.3 isn't horrible, but that definitely had some corners on that circle.
No.
I mean, technically speaking, a circle has infinite corners. So if you think about it, I did pretty good there. Faster.
Man,
I don't know. Faster.
I'm gonna be honest, Ben. I think this may take
Wait.
us the entire 4 hours.
Hear me out.
Oh.
Draw around.
Oh,
Actually,
but
no,
it's
that's gonna be too
yeah, that's
confusing. I was about to say, I was like, wait, I got this, but no. Okay, no, I got this.
imagine if you had to do this. I would
Every
not do
time.
anything. I would actually just not do anything.
I would have to take a circle drawing class. Oh. Oh no.
Oh, that's kind of good.
That one quarter. I think it's because I'm not looking at the center dot. It's like if I.
I'm trying to go fast and like see if I go fast.
That's
then
fair.
maybe.
I think you have to keep like equal distance away from the dot as you go through, and like our thought process is like, okay, let me cut it short, right? Because it gets red every single time. Like,
Yeah. I
hmm,
have to go down lower.
need to keep an equal radius. Wait.
Oh, that was so good. Am I the best?
I think
High
so.
five. Oh my goodness. Never doubt me. I'll get it done.
That
it
was
may
pretty
take
good.
me 7 times, but it'll happen.
That was. I don't blame you. That actually was
yeah.
pretty good.
Well, I
was
think
about to
that's
say, do you
gonna
wanna
end
leave it
our
on a high note?
segment. Yeah.
think
I'm
leave it
happy
there.
with this. I'm
I know
very
there's
happy with this.
100 levels.
Yeah,
to
there's
this?
100 levels to this. So
Okay.
if you guys want to try it out for yourselves, please let us know how far you go, because some of them,
They're.
I've heard they get pretty hard.
Mhm.
So well, thank you so much for joining us for this segment. And now that we're back, we are going to be moving on to our breakfast.
I know.
A little break to our
It's
breakfast.
important to make sure. I mean, don't get me wrong. This challenge is super fun. All I want to do is play games and
Yes.
continue figuring out all of these flags and
Yeah,
everything. But
drink soda.
obviously, a big part of it is also making sure that you stay healthy. So that means go eat something,
Yep.
have a bathroom break, drink some water. That's always important.
Yep.
So make sure that you do all of that. We're gonna give you a little bit of a breakfast break. and
Yeah.
then-
In the meantime, please enjoy your breakfast, and we'll be back very, very soon. Bye.
And welcome back. I mean, breakfast always important. You get a little bit of sustenance. You now have the energy to push forward. And well, Wasim, what did you end up having for breakfast?
Just had an apple, Cosmic Crisp.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's pretty good. Is that your favorite
That's
type
my
of
favorite
apple?
apple.
Okay. I like a Granny Smith. I know it's
Granny
maybe a
Smith.
little gross sometimes for some people, but I don't know. As you get
It's a little-
older, maybe
It's
you
a
like
little
the bitter.
sour sometimes. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, true. No, definitely. I mean, it might be kind of random, but what's your name? I know I already said Wasim, but what's your name? What do you do for the California Cybersecurity Institute? Just kind of general info.
My name is Wasim. I'm a Unity developer, and specifically, I work on the ISS station.
Mm-hmm.
I've been working on this room for maybe a little bit less than a year, and I'm excited to show you guys what's in store.
Yeah. I mean, it's a completely new room. It is amazing. You did a genuinely fabulous job on this.
Thank you.
It's one of the very more like atmospheric ones. The challenges are very well crafted, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But by all means, I want to go ahead and check out this room and see what did you spend the last year building.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So now we are able to check out the room. Now the first thing that kind of stands out to me is, well, based off of every other room, there is genuine just like movement in here. I like the fan, I like the lighting. This amount of space in here is amazing, right? You definitely, I don't know, you gave us the ability to kind of roam around and check it out. I just want to go ahead and ask before we like really get fully into this. How was working on a Unity room this year? Was it fun? What was a lot of challenges, I'm
A
guessing?
lot of challenges.
Okay.
Making the challenges. Yeah, so this was my first year as a real Unity developer. And we had an ISS back in the day, but it didn't go very well. So this was sort of revamped, like started from the beginning. Um, and it was a little odd at my first 2 months, getting my foot in the door. But eventually I figured it out, and I think I developed a pretty good room, and I think you're gonna like it.
I definitely think so too. I mean, once again, this is super like open realm, so you can kind of walk around everywhere. I think you did a good job on all of the different features. Okay, what was in this case?
You'll never know.
Apples. Your breakfast, just in case you wanted to
Yeah.
make sure that it was in there.
Yeah. The fun part about developing this room is that it's not only cybersecurity, but it's also a space element. So I had, some more creativity. Oh,
Totally.
there's your first challenge.
Can I click into this? Is that okay?
You go a little closer?
A little closer.
Yeah, there
Oh,
you go.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't use a computer from this far away, so
Yeah.
that's my apologies. Do we need instructions, or are you pro at this by now?
I'm a pro, you don't need the
Okay, okay.
instructions.
We can go ahead and start. Oh, I am not very quizzical myself. How does cybersecurity on the ISS illustrate the relationship between cyber systems and physical systems? Only affect data, not physical outcomes. Systems can not be impacted. Cyber compromises can have direct physical. Okay, you're gonna have to help me out here.
It's gonna be that one.
Okay,
The
okay.
third one. Most of these questions are about. Oh, you should click it before.
Oh, okay.
Most of these questions are about the importance of how cyber failures can affect human lives. Not
Okay.
only the network or anything like that, but more the physical side.
Okay, that's good to remember.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. 15 seconds. I'm gonna make it more difficult. I'm actually gonna say 12 seconds. How does ISS cybersecurity highlight the relationship between cyber defense and human safety? Failures.
Ooh, 4 seconds.
Uh-oh. Directly endanger. I would say that.
Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's important. Obviously, the human life behind any mission is
Yeah.
important, so we're gonna obviously make sure that we focus on all of that.
Sorry, the timer's really constricting you here.
Okay, okay. Why are redundancy and fail-safe design important principles for ISS cybersecurity? They reduce workload, they improve network performance, they ensure systems can function despite failures or attacks.
Yep.
They eliminate the need for monitoring.
It's
Okay,
C,
okay.
man. It's always C.
What does the concept of attack surface mean in the context of ISS cybersecurity? The physical exterior of the ISS, the number of astronauts on board, total set of points where systems could be exploited, the area affected by solar radiation. Is it always C?
C this time.
Okay. I mean, what are the odds? It's kind of a lucky thing here. I think I know why. Well, C, you were like,
Yes.
okay, let me put a little
Yeah,
bit of myself
exactly.
into
Yeah.
this game. Yeah, yeah, I can see it. If a cybersecurity system falsely flags normal ISS activities as malicious, what is the primary risk? I would say disruption of critical operations.
Right.
Okay. I'm
Yeah,
kind of killing
see, you're
this.
already a pro.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I mean, do we need to finish this challenge to progress to
I
the other stuff, or?
You don't need to, no.
Okay,
You
okay.
can just exit
I
out.
mean, there's still a
'Cause
couple of other questions for people there, but
yeah,
that's
we
kind of
don't want to
your.
give all the answers
No, no,
out,
no, that's true. But that's a little bit of the sneak peek into the challenge. People have been really enjoying your rooms. People have been talking about your rooms. Or well, I don't know, the room, I guess we can go ahead and say. I know I love playtesting this one. I don't want to be biased, but this was one of my favorites. Anyways, who is this guy?
This is an NPC.
Okay.
We don't really know
The-
his name. I mean, he can
Oh,
be,
okay.
it's Paul, maybe.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Um,
I was gonna say astronaut 2, but that's
yeah. And if you had your volume up, maybe some of the players hear him. He has a voice.
we can do that. There's a voice.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
he's stopped
He's
talking by
mumbling.
now,
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I know. I feel like that is one of the other cool things that you really worked on. I feel like you made sure that this like room was very interactive. Once again, the lights and like making sure that like, oh, okay, it's like you walk into this area, the lights turn on. Is that like, okay, we need to make sure that we save power within the ISS, or what's the reasoning behind it? Just atmosphere? What was your
The main
idea behind it?
the main idea was atmosphere. Me and Henry and Rob were talking about how can we make this room sort of like get capture that atmosphere of space.
Hmm.
So we were looking at other space games. We were looking at I was looking at maybe Dead Space, like Alien. So I tried to capture. I mean, it's a little bit not creepy, but moody in the
No,
room.
that is fair. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like at this point, I'm like, okay, is the station down? So then it's like, okay, maybe it needs to be
Mm-hmm.
a little moody. I liked it. I think that's super cool.
Maybe you got to finish the challenges,
Okay.
you know, like it pushes you.
Yeah, yeah. Are we doing Terminal 88 first or 92?
It doesn't matter, whichever
Okay.
one.
Oh,
So what you're doing here is you've played Wordle before,
I
have
have
you?
played Wordle
It's
before. Yeah, yeah.
basically very similar to that.
Okay.
So you're trying to find a password and you click any one of these words first because
Okay.
you don't really start with anything.
I'm a Minecraft fan, so I'm gonna click Emerald.
Okay. Yeah,
Oh,
0 out of 7.
okay. Sorry. That was my bad. Okay, so a different word that doesn't have those letters in it then? Or
It could have those letters, but not in the same spot. See
oh,
what
I
I'm
see.
saying?
So I
Yeah.
should not click on element.
Yeah, it's probably
Okay,
not
okay.
element.
I'm gonna say caution.
Ooh.
Okay, that's pretty
Okay,
good.
that's good.
Okay, so that
Let's see.
means technically the C could be in the right spot.
The C could be, yeah.
Okay.
Or the A,
Mhm.
maybe.
Okay, okay. I get this. I mean, could I just kind of like click
You
around and
could just click
pray?
around, but if you get it wrong, locks you out for 30 seconds.
I see. I am gonna go ahead and click. What's a word you would pick?
I think I'm gonna go with gardens.
Gardens. Where? Oh, here.
Oh,
Oh,
okay, it's not
okay.
the
I'm not
A.
trusting you. Okay, while I'm clicking around here, I do have another question for you,
Yeah.
and I'll see if I can figure this one out. And you can judge me while you're answering the question. But how's the challenge been for you? Has it been exciting? I don't know. You've probably gotten some comments on this. How have you enjoyed the challenge so far?
It has been really exciting.
Okay,
I don't think a lot of players have gotten to the ISS right now, so I'm kind of waiting for them to experience it more.
nice.
But among my coworkers and my friends who have let play the game, it's been fun to see what they struggle with. You know, what I thought might be easy, but it's difficult, or what I
Hmm.
thought was difficult for me, but they get it so easily.
I
Um,
mean, I will say I struggled on this for a little bit. This was definitely a brute forcing for a
yeah,
period. I was like,
yeah.
okay, I'm struggling, and then just
Oh,
try and push
definitely for
through.
playtesting, sometimes I would just click through.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Country was somewhat there. I'm getting convinced that the C is somewhat correct, but I don't know if that is the case. Mm, I want to say control.
I was thinking control as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you got
Nice.
it.
That's pretty
Yeah.
good. Okay, okay. I mean,
So once you've gotten that,
now we're getting,
it's
it
unencrypted
should
and you
download.
can, yeah, you can
Okay.
download the data.
Okay. And then
And then
I
you can
just
either
exit from
leave
here.
pressing Q or, yeah, there you
Okay,
go.
perfect. Oh,
Now just head over to the other one.
okay. I thought that was a mouse. I was like, wait a minute. Who put a
No,
mouse on the ISS?
I should have added that.
It's like, you know what? Of course,
All
there's
right,
like a little mouse
which
walking
one are
around.
you feeling first?
I'm thinking Cascade worked for us, or a C word worked for us last time, so
Hmm.
I'm gonna go Cascade,
Yeah,
if that
okay, I like
that
that.
works.
1.
Okay.
Let's hope it's the
Almost.
C, right?
Hey, better than your first guess.
Yeah.
Throw a bit of shade. Da da da. This is amazing. I mean, this is way better than I could do. That's for sure. Um. Okay. Because if we get past this challenge, we can go downstairs,
Mm-hmm.
and then what's your favorite part of this room? That's actually a good
My
question.
favorite part of this room is probably the spacewalk.
The
And
spacewalk.
yeah, you'll see
Okay.
what that is later. It's where you actually get to go outside of the station and tinker with stuff outside.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. That is actually super cool. Okay. I mean, maybe I didn't get there then, so that's something
That's
that.
the last challenge, so maybe yeah,
Oh,
you
I
probably
see.
didn't get
Okay,
there.
okay. I don't know. I think I failed this last time I was doing it. I think a good guess would be Cascade.
Again? No, I don't think
Okay,
so.
okay. My bad, my bad. Um,
I think we should go with something totally different.
Harvest. Maybe the A was correct. The second A.
Oh, maybe. Let's go harvest.
Okay. Maybe not.
It could be that first day, or the
Mm,
second one.
that's fair. What else? I kind of like ceiling is kind of looking fun.
Ceiling.
That's another
You like
C.
the C words,
That's
huh?
a yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm just like hoping it's the first letter. I'm like, okay, surely if it's the first letter, maybe does harvest and drawing share anything? No. Initial
Thinking compass.
compass.
Does compass
You're
share
also a C
anything?
word fan then.
No, that's not compass. Last time I was wrong, remember?
True. Okay,
Oh,
two.
okay.
That's pretty good. Okay, I'm thinking it's the initial C and then something from harvest. Maybe I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. I'm just gonna go ahead and say library. Okay, that was a bad guess. Sorry. This is for you. I'll
Let's
get out of here.
see. Maybe chimney. I think this might be the point where we just brute force and go to the next challenge so we can showcase everything, yeah?
That is fair. I mean, is there a lockout imminent? I was about to say, is there a problem with brute forcing it?
There's no problem. You get to this point where it just locks you out. See?
Gotcha.
It's locked for 20
So for
seconds.
20 seconds. Okay, so now we
But
need to hang out for 20 seconds, is what you're
well,
saying.
we don't need to. For time's sake, we can go to the spacewalk challenge actually.
Okay.
If you go
So
that
that's
way.
on the other
Yeah.
side. Okay. I am gonna go ahead and press shift here so I can sprint there. Hopefully that's okay with you. I'm not
No,
trying
it's
to.
not.
Oh,
Just
okay.
kidding.
Okay. I'll stop. I'll slow down. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so
More apples in there.
more apples in there for sure.
Where am I going? Left, right,
Let's go right there.
here.
Yep.
I'm going outside. That's
Yeah.
scary. Uh-oh. Instructions?
Alright.
You're a pro.
I don't think you need the
Okay, okay.
instructions. You know, I'll guide you.
Oh, guys, I'm
Yeah.
scared.
So now you're stuck out there. And I thought a lot of players would like to fly into the sun or into Earth. I'm sorry, but you can't.
To be honest, I was interested. Oh,
Oh, okay, if you press
maybe.
control, then you
Control.
go down.
Oh,
there you
okay,
go.
that's good to know. Okay,
The
good to know for
first thing
everyone
you
at
want to
home.
do is go to that solar panel behind you. Yep, that one.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Wait, this
You
is
see
awesome.
how
This is actually super cool.
it's really fun just being outside in space. I thought
Okay,
this was
where?
Rob's idea actually.
Oh, oh, I'm interacting here. Okay. Oh, this is like lock picking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
A lot of people had trouble with this one.
Hmm.
If you want it
Well, this doesn't
easier,
show anything.
you can click that. You can
Oh,
get the
I
easy
see.
mode.
Uh,
And here, let
come
me
on,
show you
man.
how to do it.
You need to give you easy mode.
You press W,
Okay.
the pick goes up, and then you want to lock it in place on the green.
Oh, I see. And
This
then
is
I go to the
WS.
next one. Oh. Wait, what was the lock it in? Oh, S.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Yeah, if you get it wrong, it resets you. Most of the feedback I got from
Crap.
the room, people had trouble with this challenge.
What seemed that was in? Why would you do this to me? Okay, okay.
Oh, there you go. Now you got to do it one more time.
Okay, that was just horrible. Okay, okay.
Yeah, I'm a
I'm
pro
not
at
good.
this now.
Are you?
After all the playtesting.
Okay, last try for me.
Oh, there
Okay,
you go.
that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Where am I going next?
Now you can go over there. You can check out our NPC guy right there too.
This seems fun.
He's just floating around.
This is kind of what I want to do. This seems fun. Oh,
Yeah. Oh,
that is cool. I like the NPCs.
he also talks, even though sort of makes no sense he's talking in space.
I mean, that's okay.
It's
Well,
okay.
there's comms, right? It's the
There's
same way that we
right.
got our
Yeah,
mics right now. That's kind
So
of how
you
that
want to
works.
go right there,
Okay.
and now this is gonna be
This might be our
sort of
last challenge if that's
reminiscent
okay.
of Among Us. You ever played
Oh,
Among Us? Yeah.
okay. That is very cool.
Once you start it, you're gonna need to be ready.
For Among Us.
Get ready.
Okay.
Click it. No, you gotta go 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, this is Among Us. Oh my.
I mean, this
Yeah.
is too easy. You have a mouse for this.
True. That was still kind of slow, to be honest. Uh-oh. Multiple times?
Just twice.
Oh, I see. Am I still on easy mode then, or
Oh, there you go.
am I dissing your game? No. I like it. Yours is super interactive. I think you did a great job on it. I mean, what I kind of do want to ask, a kind of final question, and I know we're currently in space, so maybe we need to make sure that we go fast. I don't know how much oxygen we have.
Right.
What was it like working on the CCI this year, or with the CCI?
It was really fun. At the beginning, you know, there's anxiety working with these new people. But everybody was really nice, and they sort of merged me into the company very nicely.
Nice.
Yeah.
Glad to hear it. And are there any secrets that people should look out for? I mean, you already told us I
Secrets.
can't fly to Earth, which I'm very disappointed in,
Yeah,
but
that's disappointing.
are there any
If you
secrets that we
go-
should check out?
If you go near the quiz challenge,
Okay.
there should be a whole map of the ISS somewhere around there. You gotta find.
Okay. Near the
See
quiz
if you can find
area,
it.
whole map of the ISS. I'm probably already walking too far. Is it on the screens?
Maybe you should get closer. You should get closer to the screen. Oh,
Oh,
there you go.
that looks complicated.
Yeah,
That's super cool, though. Okay. I like it. Well, and there's probably more Easter eggs, but I don't want to give away
you don't
too
want to
much
give
to
it
all of the
away. Yeah,
people. Thank you for showing off your amazing room.
of course.
You did an amazing job on this. So this is genuinely amazing. Cool to learn a little bit more about you. If there's one thing that you want to say or one piece of advice about the room or even outside for life, is there anything you would like to tell our audience?
Yeah, I'd just like to say have fun with the challenge. Um, I think one a lot of people are gonna like is the wavelength one, so look out for that one.
Nice.
You'll have to find that one.
I actually really like that one too.
Yeah,
Nice. Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you at the very end of the stream when we kind of thank everybody. But
yeah.
obviously, that's still a little while away. Thanks for showing off your room,
Of
and
course. Thank you for
we'll
going
see
through it.
you very, very soon for that. For our next segment, we are going to be. Oh, we're actually going into a live interview. The live interview. So James actually has been interviewed in the past. James Pavur. He has had a plethora of a career at this point. But now, at this current point in time, he is the principal engineer at Istari Digital. Yes, that principal engineer at Istari Digital. Correct. So he's been working there for about 4 months now. He is a hacker at heart that is mainly focusing on satellite security, which is very much what we're doing, satellite security. He loves the dynamics of connecting weird hardware, security, and privacy. In total, this is an amazing interview. This is genuinely a must watch. James has tons of cool stories. He talks about all of his work. He was over in the mountains one time looking up at space and all of the work that he's doing. And he's looking at these satellites. And I know he has an amazing piece of advice right at the end. So make sure that you stay tuned for the whole interview. And we'll see you in a little bit.
Well, then first of all, thank you, James, for joining us. I know that you're technically an alumni to the Space Grand Challenge at this point, in the context of you've been an interviewee before and you've provided a bunch of context and feedback. But since that time, you have now stepped into a new position. You are a director at Cybersecurity Labs, which, first of all, congratulations. But just for the people at home that do not know, or maybe it's just been a little bit too long, would you be able to give us an introduction about yourself?
Yeah, for sure. So I would say that my primary background is as a security researcher. So I did a lot of research when I was a PhD student onto how satellite systems can be hacked and then ways to protect those systems. So I showed some different cyber attacks targeting space systems, and I built some open source tools to help other people protect their satellites. And since then, I've done a lot of different jobs. I've worked at the Pentagon, I've worked at the State Department, and right now I'm helping build a research and development program that is focused on coming up with new tools that people can use to protect space missions.
Awesome. And I think that's already an amazing, like, kind of breadth of work. Right? You studied at Oxford, if I'm correct. And then
Yep, that's
now
right.
you've worked at, well, realistically, just a bunch of different places. I feel like the second you say Pentagon to anybody listening, you're going to go ahead and get a bunch of listeners here. So, first of all, I will go ahead and say I am very interested. But I'm hoping to kind of just walk through a little bit of that today. So, for the listeners who also may not have heard of SciSec before or SciSec Labs, how would you describe what they do and what you do within their system?
Yeah, so SciSec is a tech startup. So it's a very small company that's focused on building new technologies. And specifically, SciSec is focused on securing the space internet. So this idea that the next generation of the internet will not just be devices on the ground, but will make use of satellites and devices in orbit for things like even like direct to your cell phone. So future cell phones are likely to get 5G connectivity from satellites in orbit in certain regions of the world where it's expensive or difficult to install antennas. And SciSec's mission is to be sure that those connections perform reliably and in a secure way. So we do a lot of work on improving the quality of the network protocols that take data and send it across your satellite links. I think that's probably the company's bread and butter, is thinking about that infrastructure security. And my job is to help with some of the research questions. So this is an area where it's not just like, oh, we need to write more code that does something different, but there's some very specific topics in space communications where nobody knows the answer yet. especially related to like designing protocols for sending signals really long distances, or in situations where signals can be messed up by physical effects like weather or radiation, or by the transit path they take, like bouncing between a bunch of satellites. And so a
Mm-hmm.
lot of our work is adapting technologies that have worked on the ground for a very long time to the unique physical requirements of space.
What is like satellite communication and satellite security? Just before we really get into the nitty gritty of it.
I think everyone will give you a different definition, but for me, security is about finding an appropriate degree of trust in the systems that you're using. So for satellite cybersecurity, it's not just, oh, we want to stop people from taking over a satellite and crashing it in some way.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely part of it. But for me, it's a whole mission. So it's the people who are using the satellites to get, I don't know, internet on an airplane, or a weather update so that they can know whether or not it's safe to drive outside that day. Like those people are part of the security envelope that comes around what I mean when I say space cybersecurity. Likewise, the ground stations, the radios that we use to send signals to satellites, I think that's still part of satellite cybersecurity.
Mm-hmm.
I think what's not part of satellite cybersecurity is kind of the further you get away from that core, there's a space mission involved in supporting this. So, like, in a vague sense, satellites affect every aspect of our lives, right? So, people use satellites to get like timing into their oil pipelines. But I would say attacks against clocks in GPS receivers is probably not satellite cybersecurity, even though there's a satellite involved somewhere in there.
I think that's a great definition as well. I definitely never thought about it like that, so that's actually a good way of pointing it or painting that as well. And just to kind of, I don't know, look a little bit more into that satellite cybersecurity, but also more so, I guess, the SATCOM side of the work that you do and what CySec truly does. But what would you currently say is the most like exciting portion of your work, or at least for you personally?
I think the most exciting thing about working in the space cybersecurity field is that there aren't answers yet, and we have a chance to get things right. A lot of cybersecurity is we've done something terribly wrong,
Mm-hmm.
and we need to figure out how to fix it. So there's a bug in a system design, or there's like a fundamental insecurity in how we build computers. And your job as a security professional is to stop that insecurity from being broken. With space, we functionally don't have a lot of space today compared to what we would expect to see in 20 or 30 years. And so it's this very greenfield environment where you get to invent the future. You get to say, how should the first data center on the moon look? How should it work?
Mm-hmm.
And whatever you say has a really good chance of becoming part of that design down the line, especially as a researcher or an academic or someone who's publishing protocols or tools. It's just a space where you can really shape the future much more tangibly. It feels proactive rather than reactive. And I think that's
Okay.
a very rare niche in cybersecurity.
But on top of that, what is something else where you're like, oh, okay, maybe a cool story moment where you thought, I can't believe that this is my job. I want to do this for the rest of my life.
So I think for me, one of the early experiments I did in the domain was intercepting satellite internet signals. And we basically had this idea that you could take home television equipment, which was designed to receive signals in a specific frequency band. And if you pointed it at the right satellites and had the right computing hardware on the other side of the antenna, you might be able to see people's internet traffic. And
Mm-hmm.
I remember we had our research station. It was set up in the Swiss Alps because we were partnering with Arma-Suisse, which is basically like Swiss DARPA, so like a Swiss
Okay.
government research agency. And I remember in the rooftop of this building in the Alps, surrounded by like snowy mountains, pointing this dish at satellites, I was like, this has got to be the coolest thing anyone has ever done as a security researcher. It was just this combination of like, sometimes cybersecurity doesn't feel very real because you can't like touch it, right? It's a very
Mm-hmm.
ephemeral, cerebral kind of thing. And there was something about being outside, being a little bit chilly, thinking about the world around me, thinking about orbits and directions and using a literal compass to navigate, that just felt so tangible and special, that I think that was one of the moments for me where I was like, this is just such a cool job.
Okay, so you have written a few papers at this point. And one of the ones that ended up standing out to me was a paper you wrote about building a launchpad for satellite cybersecurity research. So that takes into account, I believe it was 60 years worth of space flights, and just kind of their lessons and things along those lines. And you ended up laying out a threat model toolbox of satellite hacking incidents. Would you be able to kind of dive into this a little bit, explain what it means for the people at home? And then I would also say, maybe my personal question in there is, from that research, which attack types do you think remain the most under addressed today?
Yeah, it's a good question. So that paper looked at this idea that satellite hacking actually isn't new, just because we haven't heard a lot about satellite cyber attacks compared to other things. When the paper was written, that was a bit more of a provocative statement, since after that, there were several major satellite cyber attacks, such as the attack on Viasat at the start of the Russia-Ukraine war, which was extremely prominent and extremely disruptive and very obviously a cyber attack. But when I first started researching in this domain, there was kind of this perception that satellites are so complicated or so advanced that they're functionally unhackable. And what I found is that digging into old news articles and old research papers and conference talks, that actually people had been exploiting satellites for decades on and off. We saw probably the most famous first cyber attack on satellites was in the 1980s. Some guy was really mad at HBO for adding subscription fees to their satellite TV channels. And so he hijacked their signal and sent his own protest message over HBO's satellite transponders. And people in Florida turned on their televisions and got this message from Captain Midnight instead of the actual TV show they were expecting to watch. And so that's a very early example of a proper satellite cyber attack. In this case, it was a signal hijacking attack.
Interesting.
And yeah, it's just there's this whole legacy of space hacking that shows up. I think the bread and butter of space hacking has always been the signal layer. So like what Captain Midnight did, almost everything that we see that actually happens in space cybersecurity targets the radio link. So it's often your jamming attacks, your spoofing attacks, things that try to disrupt the satellite signal or try to change the contents of the signal by messing with the physical properties of radios. In the last decade or so, we've seen an evolution towards more attacks on the ground station. So the computers that run the satellites, as those have become less esoteric and weird. And we still see almost nothing targeting the devices in orbit. I think in part because they are still quite esoteric and weird, and it's just not worth the effort for most attackers.
And then just to kind of change pace a little bit, what we're here for today, the Space Grand Challenge, it's all about kind of learning by doing and potentially actually showing somebody what it physically could look like and moving forward with that. So maybe it's still a little bit related to the last question, but from your perspective as well, what makes this type of competition, this Space Grand Challenge, so valuable for students playing today?
I think that for students playing the Grand Challenge, it's such a great opportunity to encounter something you probably haven't thought about before and to learn how to apply things you have thought about before to a new context. And to me, that's the fundamental skill of security research and cybersecurity, is saying, I've done this thing that's semi-related to the situation I'm encountering. How do I transfer it? And so maybe you've learned in class about some aspect of cryptography, or maybe you've fixed some bug on your computer and you've had the misfortune of encountering the Windows registry or something, right? And you can take that lesson and be like, wait a minute, that applies to some challenge I'm seeing here. That applies to some real space thing I'm encountering in the Grand Challenge. And I think that transfer skill, the ability to take something from an unrelated context and use it to do something you've never tried before, hack a satellite, is just something it's very hard to develop. You can't sit down and train yourself to encounter unexpected situations very easily, because by setting up the situation, you've expected it.
Yes.
But in a simulation environment like this, you're going to encounter that and have the opportunity to develop that muscle. And I think that's what makes something like this so special.
Awesome. Well, and then also on that note, what is one piece of advice that you would give our audience today?
I have fun, right? You only get to experience puzzles like this for the first time once, right? And so
That's true.
always take the opportunity to enjoy that first time. Enjoy the fact that you might be a bit bewildered. Enjoy the fact that you might have to think laterally or that something might seem weird or nonsensical at first. Um, it all makes sense at the end, but once it all makes sense, you don't have that experience of bewilderment again. So embrace it even when it's frustrating. No, I just have fun, enjoy the challenge, and yeah, welcome to space.
Well, James, thank you so much. We appreciate your time. I think this was an amazing interview here today, so I do really appreciate it, and thank you so much.
Of course, anytime.
Well, welcome back, everyone, to the Space Grand Challenge. My name is Madeline Hott, and this is.
And my name is Lucas Nguyen.
Thank you, Lucas, for joining me on the desk today.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
So, you are a VTech. Do you mind introducing yourself a little bit more to our viewers and talk about what exactly you do behind the screen?
Yeah, of course. So like I said, my name is Lucas Nguyen. I am a first-year electrical engineering major here at Cal Poly. And I am the audiovisual tech for the CCI, specifically for the Space Grand Challenge and coming in the future, of course, any other events. But really, what my main kind of goal is and my task for the CCI is really to ensure that everything that happens on this day, meaning April 25th, 2026,
Yes.
the SGC Silent Horizon
2026.
goes really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you that don't know, but an audiovisual tech is everything to do with cameras, microphones, computers, anything that makes everything that you see, it makes my job exactly that.
Yeah, possible, for sure.
What I'm doing makes exactly what you're watching possible.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
And I would say, for me right now, I mean, I'm not at my desk, but thank you, Ben.
Ben
is
at
at
our
my
desk,
desk.
if you guys
Thank
remember
you,
Ben.
But of course, we have Ben over there, and it's to make sure that you guys are hearing everything, you're seeing everything, and that we are transitioning fluidly and nothing is crashing on the Twitch side of things.
Yeah, I mean, Lucas and I have been working together for around, I would say 6 months. We're all on the esports team. Ben, me, Lucas, we're all together, which is super, super fun. I mean, we have probably spent numerous hours together just setting up the camera, the broadcast. I mean, Lucas is responsible for some of the coolest things that I would say that are part of the esports team's job. Speaking of cool things, what first got you introduced into AV production?
Wow. We gotta travel back in time.
Okay.
But I would say that I got into AV mostly through, and don't tell him I say this, but my brother.
Really?
My older brother, he throughout high school was doing his AV stuff, and he's 4 years older than I am. So of course I got to see him do that, and I was like, wait, that's really cool.
That sounds awesome.
So of course, once I got into high school, I kind of followed that path, and for me, it didn't go into broadcasts and streams like this, but I worked for a theater and I did more technical audio engineering for the theatrical departments in my high school district. So that meant I was doing audio engineering, I was mixing, and I was going ahead and actually making sure that that show was running. I was turning on people's mics. I was up rigging their mics to their faces, everything like that. And it really just was such a fun experience. I got to test around and play around with many different types of technologies that I never even thought were possible. And if you know me, and Maddie, you do.
Yes.
But I love music.
You do love music.
I am the biggest music nerd or geek you will ever
Yeah,
find.
you are actually part of the Cal Poly.
I'm a part of 2 Cal Poly ensembles. So I'm in the Cal
Whoa.
Poly Mustang Band, which is our pep/marching band. And then I'm also a part of the Cal Poly Wind Ensemble, which is our highest ranking concert band. But just in that sense, you use AV and music tangentially. So I can go ahead and use my music knowledge to go ahead and make myself a better AV tech. Or I can make my AV tech knowledge a better performer on a stage where I understand the
Absolutely.
surroundings that I'm around. So I would say that it's very, very like they work together really well.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say the thing that really got me into like the production side of it is the background that I've had. Little middle school Lucas with his YouTube channel of like
Yep.
100
I
subscribers.
I've done that
Um,
before.
and getting into editing videos,
Yep.
using recording softwares, testing different ways to just really practice and go through everything that you've been doing
Mm-hmm.
makes it just so much easier and a lot better. Like once you get to where I am now, where this is something that I enjoy doing and I
Yeah,
get to
it's a
do
passion for
for
you.
work.
Yeah.
And it is honestly, this has been one of the best parts of my life is working here at the CCL.
Oh, wonderful. I mean, you make the SGC and obviously other productions, like you said, your theater development, make everything kind of look seamless. But there's a lot happening in the background. I mean, you said it yourself. What are some of the most important things that the viewers may not see?
Oh, um, well, I would say one of the things, and probably the most important thing that you guys don't see is everything that me and Maddie are looking at right now.
Yes.
And that being the camera, the monitors, the display boards,
Ben.
Ben,
Ben over there.
or even we have so many lights put around this
Mhm.
room.
Yeah, we are
And
blinded
like
right here.
I have the sun right here.
Yeah, the sun in our
But
right
really,
left eyes.
it's setting up the room or setting up your space in a way that makes it very easy for you
Yeah.
to work together,
Mm-hmm.
but also it makes it look perfect.
Yeah, the
Matt, I don't know
focus.
about you, but I feel like my skin is glowing right
Yes,
now. Like
no.
this light is
It
doing
was
me really
it
well.
was actually so funny. We sit down before the SGC started. Ben sits next to me, and obviously these lights. I cannot further emphasize how close these lights are to our face. And we both look at Lucas and we're like, "Do they have to be this bright?" And Lucas is like, "Yes, they do. We need to see you." I said, "Okay,
Well,
yes, sir. Yes, sir."
I think one of the best parts of a broadcast is, and specifically like a broadcast like this, where we are advertising an event,
Mhm.
is being able to truly see the people that you are, or as a viewer, it's truly seeing the people that are talking to you
Yeah.
and being able to see their emotions, their facial features,
Mhm.
their tells, as some people would call it, of really knowing like, wow, I couldn't find Waldo.
Yeah.
But if you guys were watching the stream, I zoomed in on Waldo about 2 minutes before they found
Did you
Waldo.
actually?
So,
I didn't know that.
sometimes you get a better view. um, and it really comes down to it where being an AV tech and making sure that a stream goes as smooth as it does
Mhm.
is just adapting to whatever situation comes your way.
Yeah, and obviously we've been preparing for the SGC, the Space Run Challenge, for a little over 6 months, almost honestly, for me, a little over a year because I've been here since last year. So we've been running through the run of show and all the programs and all the interviews. And Lucas has gotten to work on a lot of different tools, which we're going to get into a little later. But you were talking about making sure everything runs smoothly. What happens when something does go wrong? Because inevitably it sometimes does go
Yeah.
wrong. What's your approach to troubleshooting those in a live setting?
Well, in a live setting, troubleshooting is figuring out what's wrong and deciding how am I going to fix this without making it worse.
Mm-hmm.
So there could be a million things that go wrong, and for every million things that goes wrong, there's another 2 million ways to fix it.
Yep.
But the best thing to do is find the way that makes the least impact on the rest of the viewership. So I would say for me, the thing that makes me an AV tech or that could make me as strong of an AV tech as I am is the adaptability that you can must
Mm-hmm.
have. It's figuring out what's wrong and immediately being able to fix
Yep.
it. So whether or not you're having an issue with a transition and you need to switch your transition file, or you are having an issue with the stream not actually streaming, it's figuring out your error, finding a way to fix it, but also staying calm and understanding that if you rush yourself or you don't allow yourself to truly think and get yourself ready,
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to be making a good impact. You're going to be actually hurting yourself more than if you stay calm, adapt to what's happening, and just roll with it.
Yeah,
As people
obviously.
say, the show must go
The
on.
show
And it
must go
really has
on.
to.
I mean, us at the esports team, Ben and I, we assuredly know that things can just kind of change on the fly and it's up to us and obviously our AV tech to kind of make sure those things happen because the show really must go on. Now, speaking about our little technical developments, what is the most valuable technical item that you think is for an AV tech?
Oh God. There's so many things. In such a, I would say, I don't want to call this a professional fashion, but in such a way that we are now, where we have such advanced technologies, some could say what we use to change our displays or the software. But in reality, for me, a lonely old AV tech that just loves listening to things, it is your headphones.
Yeah.
Having a strong and wired pair of headphones is very valuable.
Yeah.
Um, I love using headphones that have a long cable, of
Mhm.
course, because you want to be able to move. If I need to be able to listen, but then also go to the camera that's right in front of me, I need to be able to move and get there
Yeah.
without disturbing anything. And I think the best way to do that is to have a strong pair of headphones, something that allows you to listen deeply, find the echoes,
Mhm.
find where people's voices are dropping out. And that's probably the most important thing of an AV tech, other than, of course, the camera that's recording this all for us now.
Yeah, I mean, you had mentioned it. We've been working together for around a year, and obviously, you had said before that you are a big music nerd, which I am a huge fan of. That was one of the first things that Lucas kind of directed towards Ben and I. He was like, "Oh, we have to get really, really good with our mics. We have to get really, really good with our headsets." And we tried so many different mics, and you directed us through things. So thank you so much.
You're
You were
welcome.
such a wonder. For anyone who might be interested in getting into AV or live production, what's the best way to get started or build experience?
Well, I would say, and depending on where you go to school, take as many classes as you can. Find
Mm-hmm.
clubs, anything like that. I started through theatrical productions,
Yeah.
so whether that was musicals in my high school or that was just a little fall play, anything like that, they need audio engineers,
Mm-hmm.
they need visual technicians, or they need lighting crew,
Yeah, I'm certain they're seeking volunteers
and
and
they're always looking for
yeah,
volunteers.
for sure.
Another way is to find an amazing club.
Mm-hmm.
Cal Poly, if you don't know, is home to over 500 clubs.
Whoa.
And one of those clubs is actually AES, which is the Audio Engineering Society. And the Audio Engineering Society, they meet together. Of course, it's about audio. We're all AV techs. But the important thing is that we get to grow together and learn.
Mm-hmm.
So, this current school year, so from the 25 to 26 school year, they have been designing their own speakers. Each
What?
student has built their own speaker,
Whoa.
and the club is providing them with the materials to do so. They're providing them with their own subwoofers,
Oh my
their own
gosh.
cases. They're giving them the wood to actually build the frames. And it's finding communities like that that will really help you get into the industry.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a small industry, but the more you work at it and the more experience you have, the stronger and farther you'll go.
Yeah, and I think obviously having passion. You had mentioned before that you were like, "Yeah, I did my little YouTube videos," but that's a real way that you can get into AV tech. I mean, make your own YouTube videos. I mean, a big part of Lucas's whole job is editing. He edited the SGC trailer. He edits almost, I'm pretty sure, all our live interviews, or not live interviews, pre-recorded interviews. He edits them all. So, I mean, that's a huge part of your job. But I want to kind of go towards a more fun question. If you could work any event in the entire world, what would it be and why?
Oh. Is this like a one-time thing, or is this something to do like just as a
Uh, it,
continue?
either. Whatever suits your answer better.
Well, I am a proud Canadian. I will say this.
Okay.
And one of my favorite things about at least where my family is from is having a Broadway nearby. And
Mm.
I think that the coolest thing to do as an AV tech, if it's not working on like a big television show,
Huh.
is working for a Broadway musical
Yep.
or working for a Broadway
I
play.
can ditto on that
You
one.
you sit in the back, you get to watch the shows for free.
Yep.
All you have to do is actually work the shows, and they're so cool. If you've never been to a Broadway show, I really hope that at some point you really can, or even look it up and
Yeah.
just look at how big those halls are,
They're so
how big
huge.
those theaters are, and how people are actually working. And if you ever notice, there's like a little box cut out in the back of the first row, or not of the first row, of the first floor. There's a
Floor.
little box, and that is where your AV tech sits. He's got 2 or 3 different audio boards. He's got 3 monitors, or he or she or
Yeah.
they are always there. There's multiple AV techs in many cases, and in my opinion, I think that would be the coolest thing to do.
Yeah, I have to ditto on that one. I love Broadway shows, Broadway musicals. I mean, Lucas and I actually went on like a 9-hour road trip to Arizona to see a How to Train Your Dragon orchestra, which was super, super fun. And we listened to Hamilton pretty much
We did.
on the way
We
back.
did.
It was super, super fun. Well, my last question to you. Well, first of all, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate it. But the last thing I want to ask you is if you could leave the audience with one thing to appreciate more about AV and live production, what would it be? I know it's hard.
That's a hard one. But
Yeah.
I think at least to help an audience appreciate
Mhm.
AV and like live production is coming from a critic standpoint, it's very easy to critique everything that happens
Yeah,
on either
every
a
flaw.
broadcast, in a
Mhm.
musical, anything like that. But the other thing to notice is that we're all human
Yep.
and everyone is going to make a mistake. And
Mhm.
whether that mistake leads to you forgetting to turn on someone's mic or the transition doesn't go well, but overall, that's just how it's going to go.
Yeah.
And you really just need to understand that we're all human. We're going to continue to work through it.
Mhm.
And no matter what, you're putting on a show, and that show is catering to so many
People.
people.
Yep.
And if you get a couple negative comments, oh well, you've made such a positive impact on the
Mhm.
people around you and the community that you were involved in.
Yeah, I mean adaptability, that's the big thing here. People are going to adapt and yeah, they may make a mistake, but really you should be looking at how well they recover from it cuz honestly, it becomes one of those things where you leave a show or something, oh, they didn't turn on that mic that one time. Out of the 12-hour show that one time? I mean, man, it does
Yeah.
suck, but it's okay. Well, thank you Lucas so much for coming on and speaking with me today, and thank you Ben for doing such a great job behind the desk. We'll welcome him back very soon. In the meantime, we are going to take a quick break and then come back with Ben and Avery for a CCI live interview. Thank you so much. Okay,
Of course.
bye bye.
Later.
And welcome back. One of the big things that Lucas and Maddie were talking about was this like, okay, here's what the setup is. And it's like, look, we have all of these monitors and this camera and all of this audio, but what does it actually look like? So we wanted to go ahead and pull up a quick photo of, well, in the action moment. So you can go ahead and see Maddie and Lucas over here on the left side. And like they were saying, very much is the truth. It's like, okay, it's like you have these big lights. I mean, Avery, you could tell them all about it. It's like, okay, it's like, this is very bright.
Yep.
But obviously the lighting is very important here. We got a Scarlet here on the chair, very, very well set up. Camera, and then Lucas is set up over here. He usually is behind that, or well, he is behind that desk, kind of just showing everything off. We have kind of like this jerry-rigged computer, but this is what it takes to set up this stream. It seems very simple because you just see this desk and you're like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's like they're live. But then when you actually look at it, it's like, okay, Lucas had to set up 40 wires for this thing to actually work. So genuinely, thank you, Lucas, for I don't know, putting all of this together and helping us out with it. Okay, so you might be wondering who's sitting next to me. I also am. Avery, could you introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, I'm Avery. I'm a fourth year computer engineering student. I've been at CCI for a little over 2 years, so this is my third game day,
Okay,
and I'm the AWS team lead.
awesome. What do you do as an AWS team lead?
Yeah, so I manage. I've touched like everything on the back end. Our our game is supported by AWS, so um, everything from like user registration, managing uh, everything in our database system, which is like event details,
Mhm.
user details, team details, scores. Um, yeah, I've touched a little bit of everything.
Okay. I mean, the back end's obviously important. It's like, okay, it's like you're
Right.
interfacing with the front end. You're like, oh, this is the important stuff. But it's like, okay, for the front end to work, it's like, okay, you need an Avery on your team. What's something interesting about your role? Like, what do you like from in your day to day right now?
Uh, well, there's a big contrast between like where we're at on development.
Hmm.
So during development, I really like to just, oh, we need this new functionality. Okay, let me go program this new function, add this functionality to the game, um, test it, make sure it works. And now what we've been in for a while is testing, and there's a lot of different components going on to synchronize. Oh, we need the Unity game to work. We need um, the analysis portion to work.
Hmm.
So we're all testing different things, and things are constantly changing. Oh, we need to fix this small bug. Oh, we need to fix this small thing. My favorite part's definitely the development early on, but
Okay.
then yeah, what we've been in recently is just rigorous testing across the board.
I mean, the testing is definitely necessary. I feel like, I don't know,
Right.
we've tossed out the email like 6 times. We're like, hey, SGC support. And what I always tell everybody is like, hey, it's like, it's super unlikely that anything does go wrong, but just in the slight chance that it does, there's obviously like a way to reach out. But because of your rigorous testing, we've actually not had that many people reach out, which is amazing. You've done a great job so far. Um, I mean, you said that you're the AWS team lead. Team lead is obviously a big position in this context too. What's it like working with the student team here, or just kind of everybody, if you will?
Yeah, so it's interesting. We're all like the same age, but um, we've come into the CCI at different points in our education.
Mhm.
So like I've said, I've been here the longest, a little over 2 years, but we have great people on the team. Owen's great. Jason and Ava, they're a little newer, but they're learning pretty quickly. So it's kind of a balance of being able to like, okay, I need to know everything that's happening so I can fix things, but I also need to be able to teach and educate like the newer people.
Totally. Well, and what year are you right now?
I'm a fourth year, so I'm
Okay.
about to graduate.
So that also probably means, right, the educating portion has been a big part of this year. It's like, okay, now you have to pass on all of the knowledge that you hold and kind of let people know. It's like, okay, what are the next steps? And based off of the fact that you're a fourth year, what are your next plans?
Yeah, so I have a job up in the Bay. I'm gonna be a software engineer for Arista Networks,
Amazing.
and yeah, so moving up to San Jose this summer.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I don't know. I lived there for my childhood. Super nice place. Our AV tech is over from the San Jose area as well. Obviously, we'll keep in contact and say hello as much as we can. Um, One of the questions that I always kind of like asking for anyone that's been like behind the scenes developing it and everything, and we had some people already answer is, what's your favorite part about the competition? I mean, you talked about, I don't know, the building and the developing, and I'm guessing the educating is a big portion of it, but is there anything that really stands out to you?
I think the app stream is really cool. The analysis portion.
Okay.
Um, the challenges are a little less graphically interesting than our game, our Unity game,
Hmm.
but the challenges in themselves, I think, are pretty interesting and a little more thought provoking and challenging.
Okay. For anyone that doesn't know, what is the app stream?
Yeah, so AppStream is just a service we use with AWS that basically we have this remote desktop and we're streaming it to a bunch of users all at the same time.
Okay. Perfect. No, no, no. Good definition. Um, One of the things, so obviously you've worked on a lot of stuff at this point. What I was going to ask for this year, but I think I'm going to ask you for the entire time that you've been here because 3 challenges is a big deal. What has been your proudest moment for the competition so far? Is there anything where you're like, wow, it's like I really did that?
The first thing that I worked on at CCI was registration. And
Okay.
that was the first like big task that I feel like I took on by myself.
It's a
And
big deal.
I had to like figure out how everything works, then rework it and make sure we have a whole new system now. So it used to be we had a different third-party application. We'd collect all the team data,
Hmm.
and then we would submit it, parse that data in our backend, and then upload it to our database. But now it's all in one spot. You go to our website, you click register team, you fill out the information there. So
Hmm.
now it's just one cohesive application. So that's like the first big thing I took a bite out of, and I was pretty happy with that.
That is super cool. I mean, you definitely helped shape, I don't know, the game into what the game is today. I think registration, because first time I had the competition, or I was like here to help with the competition, was in 2021, which is definitely a little while ago. And I remember registration at the time was, I'd say, difficult. The one screen portion, or at least making it like simpler, definitely like enhances the experience, make sure that more people sign up. So I don't know, by all means, I can definitely understand that that was your proudest moment. It's a big accomplishment. Okay, so now you are kind of wrapping up a chapter, but by all means, obviously still staying connected. You can always do an alumni interview. Those are a big deal. One of the big things is, I don't know, now you have these next steps, and it seems like you're kind of figuring out life and, I don't know, a job. Congratulations. That's a big
Yeah,
deal.
thank you.
What is one piece of advice that you would have for our audience today? And that could be, I don't know, related to career or the work that you do here, or maybe a mix of both.
Yeah, I think people participating in this challenge are way ahead of where I was. Like middle school, high school, I was not doing capture the flags. I was
Oh,
not
fair.
doing challenges like this. So you guys are killing it already. But I would say stay curious. Uh, if you're ever wondering, like, oh, how does my computer do this? How does this software do this?
Mhm.
Go and learn. Go figure it out. Everything's available online, and just keep learning, and everything will fall into place.
Amazing. I mean, you've definitely asked questions before, and I don't know, you've ran into challenges and all of these other things. You've probably overcome a few. For the sake of maybe giving ourselves a little bit more time here, um, what's like a big challenge that you've overcome?
Specifically here at CCI.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I'd say coming in, I came in at a weird point. We were transitioning. The AWS team shrank a lot of people left, and then it was
Hmm.
just me and one other guy when I first started.
That is a big change. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and so he was really focused on development, and I was just trying to figure out what was going on. Like, it was my first time working with AWS, first
Hmm.
time working with others on a team to build a web application. So I was like, man, I'm struggling just to find information. So it's just like uh, this goes back to like curiosity, like
Hmm.
just being like, oh, how does this work? How let me find this answer for myself and just really deep dive into our code and figure out how everything was linked together. That was a huge challenge at first, but one but that was also like a great advantage in the end because being able to or being forced to poke around and figure out how everything works by myself, I really have a good grasp on how everything functions now.
Oh, totally. I mean, being able to kind of poke around everything and learn a little bit of everything makes you a well-rounded person, and I know you'll do great in the workforce. So, once again, congratulations, but also thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah,
We appreciate your time.
thank you.
For our next segment, we have a pre-recorded interview with Michael Butler. This was an interview conducted by Maddie, but Michael is the founder and CEO of Final Frontier Security. Michael's company currently does penetration testing for hardware and space systems, helping catch flaws before the real hackers can get to them. This is, once again, real life, I don't know, well, pen testing. This is a big deal. It kind of bleeds into a little bit of that anonymous interview. So you'll have a little bit of terminology from the anonymous interview that will feed into this Michael Butler interview. But by all means, make sure that you stay around. And once again, thank you, Avery, for joining us.
Thank
See
you.
you in a little bit.
Hello, everyone. My name is Madeline Hott, and I am the esports commentator for the Space Grand Challenge right here in Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. And I am here with Michael Butler, the CEO and founder of Final Frontier Security. How are you, Michael?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good.
Well, that's great to hear. And on behalf of everyone at the CCI and Cal Poly, we appreciate you taking the time to meet with us. And I don't want to take up too much of your time, so we're going to get right into the questions. For those unfamiliar with what cybersecurity is, what is Final Frontier Security and what sets it apart from other cybersecurity companies?
So we are primarily a pen testing company. We do a little bit in the space field, not a ton, but I'm sure I'll talk more about that. So I
Mhm.
guess really what sets us apart is our focus on penetration testing. Most cybersecurity companies have multiple disciplines, whereas we try to do one thing really, really well.
Wow, that is really, really interesting. And this is kind of like you said that we talk more about space, and I'm sure we will. Can you tell us a little bit about your background and what led you to found a organization like this, a company like this?
Yeah, sure. So my background is totally on the offensive side. Like I was a soldier that got stationed at the NSA and conducted
Wow.
cyber warfare operations.
Oh my
That's kind of
goodness.
where I got my start. And then when I left the Army, that kind of translated well to the commercial pen testing realm.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah. So since then, I built three different pen testing teams, and I decided it was time to kind of build one for myself.
Man, that is really, really interesting. So you think like the army definitely led your inspired your interest in like the space and cybersecurity, or was that something that you were already interested in and then it kind of just translated after the army that that was like how that happened?
Yeah, I mean, it was something I was already interested in. I liked computers, but I wasn't aware that this was an option at that time. That was, I guess, like 15 years ago. So I wasn't aware this field existed until the Army and all of that training and everything, and started looking for commercial applications for that skill set.
Man, that is really, really cool. So, in your opinion, why is space-based cybersecurity becoming increasingly important in today's world, I would say?
Well, I think it's actually kind of late. It should have been, more of a concern a little bit earlier
Yeah,
on.
no, for
Kind of,
sure.
yeah, I think we're kind of catching up at this point.
Hmm.
Um, uh, yeah, I think that there's been more of a push, I guess, mostly they're driven by government interests because government interest precedes contracts and
Right.
contracts precede money. And so you have the bigger players that are already involved in space, like the bigger contracting companies, starting to see that there is more government concern over space cybersecurity and threats that might affect satellites from a cyber perspective. And so you see that kind of driving more of the conversation in that direction of something that probably should have happened a long time ago.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I am only 20 years old, and I feel like the government has a hold of everything I've ever done in my entire life, which is, a little scary when you think about it. But as at the time, authentication with everything, it's kind of crazy. So that's really, really cool. So the Space Grand Challenge, I don't know if you're fully aware of what exactly it is, but it's a competition for students hosted by Cal Poly students. Why do you think competitions that involve, I guess, like cybersecurity training may be important to them?
I mean, so anything we've done this for quite a while on the non-space side, right? There's like CCS, or what is it called? The cross collegiate
Hmm.
CTF thing. Yeah, I forget what the acronym is. Yeah, so I mean, CTFs and a competition like that have kind of inspired, especially at the academic level, interest in both the offensive and defensive sides of cyber for a long time. And I think applying that to space is really going to do the same in the space area. What's nice about space is people are already at least interested generally in cyber or in space, or or in both.
Right.
And so the competition just kind of helps to bring those together in a more fun way.
Do you see young people contributing to solving real world security challenges?
Yes. I mean, I've personally hired uh students right out of college before because they are
Really?
so, yeah, like their interest creates motivation, and
Hmm.
they'll be ahead of their peers that kind of go through a more standard path, right? So sometimes you find uniquely motivated students that have been working on cyber challenges and such since they were in high school, and they're just way ahead of everybody else. So yeah, so that not often, not only are they solving problems, but sometimes they're already years ahead of everybody else.
Right, that is super interesting. What would you recommend to like a student that wants to get into this field and wants to kind of excel, I would say? What would you recommend kind of traits that they should exhibit?
Yeah, so the offensive side is a little bit more difficult to get into because it's more niche and it's not necessarily beginner friendly.
Right.
It seems like the kind of floor in there is an OSCP. Once you've got that, it's like, okay, now you can talk and get, but those are pretty hard to get. It's a hard certification.
Hmm.
Um, for the more defensive side, I think that the typical route is get through college and then go to a help desk job, kind of learn a
Right.
little bit more, get some experience before going past that. Um, but I'm also seeing a lot of students who are able to, like I said before, kind of demonstrate their skill set, being able to skip past a lot of that, especially
Mhm.
with conferences. People who can get through CTFs are able to, garner more interest in getting hired at one of the bigger corporate firms. So, like for example, we've got a conference in Utah called SaintCon,
Right.
um, Yeah, it's a great conference, and it's got a ton of really good challenges and everything. And there's a university right there, so a ton of the students from that university go to those challenges. They work through them, and I think that helps them a lot in finding a job.
Man, so you would say that you recommend that students would go to these types of conferences to kind of create connections. Do you have any others that you would kind of recommend that they go to?
So I go to the Vegas conferences, obviously. Black Hat probably not so good for creating connections because it's super expensive. So unless you have somebody else paying
Oh
for
my
it, probably
goodness.
not worth it. Yeah. DEF CON, a little bit lower of a barrier
Oh,
to entry. So yeah, that's not a bad one. And then St. Con. Honestly, those are really the only ones I go to. St. Con is definitely smaller than the other two, but it's also much more welcoming, and it's a good enough size that you can make some friends there.
oh, well, thank you so much for your input. I'm sure our students appreciate that a lot. The next question, as a professional, you being a professional, what are some of the biggest cybersecurity risks to space systems today? If you can answer that. I don't know if that's too much of a pry.
So I've left my clearance behind, so I don't. Yeah, so I don't have access. I don't have access to classified stuff, so I can talk about pretty much anything.
Okay.
But I think in general, we really try to raise the awareness of cybersecurity for space systems. But there are sort of two big barriers to any real compromise.
Right.
And one of them is most of the time, for pretty much all critical satellites, the communication with them is all encrypted, and it's very, very difficult to break that encryption for any satellite that matters, really. So so then the second kind of way of compromising them is by going through the ground station, which
Right.
also are often at least fairly difficult to compromise, right? So once you have access to the ground station, though, you can pretty much do whatever you want, right? So like there is like a thick layer of security, but if you get past that, you're probably going to be able to do whatever you want at that
That's
point.
kind of
So
scary.
yeah, so that is definitely a concerning aspect of
I
cybersecurity for space
see.
right now.
Man, that is really, really interesting. I mean, for our challenges for our students during the Space Ground Challenge, there's a lot of things that they do where it really puts into perspective how vulnerable some of the systems really are. I mean, obviously they have like that big, thick layer, but yeah, that's really, really cool. How would you say the industry is preparing for the growing complexity of satellite and space-based networks?
Um, So for the complexity of creating them, like they're all over that, right? Like
Mhm.
SpaceX now has constellations that are, orbiting the Earth. They're very good at developing that side of things because that side of things drives revenue, right? And
Right.
it's the same thing on the cyber side, right? Like developers are always going to be kind of valued a little bit more than the cyber guys
Hmm.
because developers drive revenue by developing products, whereas the cyber guys just promise that we're protecting the revenue, but you never really actually see
Yeah,
that.
it's definitely the less flashy job, I would
Yep.
say.
Yeah, from a financial perspective, yeah, definitely. So yeah, from developing it, they're doing just fine. They don't need help with that. As far as the cyber side, like I said, because there's just now some government interest growing in it, you're starting to see some of the bigger contractors make moves in that direction, and we're starting to
Right.
get and I guess from the academic community, we're getting more standards getting pushed out, like the Sparta framework from aerospace. Then there's like standards being pushed out from I think MITRE's working on something.
Mm.
CCSDS has uh, their crypto protocols and things like that. They're going to add some layer
Yeah.
of security to it. Yeah, so there's definitely like more standards being pushed out, kind of more from the academic side, and then more interest in it from the government, which is causing the big contractors to start moving in that direction as well.
Speaking on that, where do you see the future of space cybersecurity heading to in the next 5 to 10 years?
So, I mean, we're definitely, I think, on a really good path. I think that we're going to see a lot, like I keep saying, a lot of big contracting companies are going to get involved and start developing out frameworks and standards that they're going to
Right.
require for satellites and applying those. So I think things are going to happen pretty quickly. The reason I keep bringing up the big contractors is unlike general cybersecurity, it is more difficult for regular people to kind of get involved in satellite cybersecurity because
Yeah.
they're satellites, right?
Yeah,
So
that
you have
makes
to
sense.
yeah, you have to be working through somebody that has access to satellites or manufactures satellites or
Hmm.
something like that, or whatever space vehicles we're talking about. So that usually requires a much larger company. And so we have, not a ton of those companies. And so at a few of these companies are probably going to have a lot more jobs opening up specifically related to cybersecurity for space. Not this year, because like right now we're still kind of in the like theoretical phase of designing out what it'll look like.
Hmm.
But certainly over the next 5 years, we're going to see I think a decent explosion of space-based cybersecurity jobs opening up at those few contracting companies and maybe even subcontracting companies that are focused on cybersecurity for space.
Well, that is really, really great news that you think that, and I'm hoping that that is the case.
Yeah.
Speaking on that and building on that, what advice would you give to our Space Grand Challenge participants that may want to pursue a career in cybersecurity after?
No, right now, okay, cybersecurity. Okay, yeah. So if you're pursuing a career in cybersecurity, that's one thing. If you're looking for cybersecurity for space, I'd say hold your horses a little bit because
Okay.
we don't know what it looks like quite yet. And maybe don't, depend on that. But yeah, for cybersecurity in general, like I said before, if you want to go the offensive side, you really need to work towards the OSCP. You
Mhm.
might get a junior position before that, but I think that they're generally a little bit rare. Usually we see people working on more the blue side or the engineering side, and then eventually transitioning
Right.
over to the offensive side once they've kind of built up some skills on that side. On the blue side, yeah, I mean, I think that the typical school route works of, you get like your security plus and like kind of the basic entry level certifications. And then like maybe you can work towards like a CISSP that's a little bit higher level, right? Or certifications that are specifically related to your position. Or if you're interested in like the cloud stuff, AWS has really awesome certifications that are not very expensive. I've got a few of those certifications. I think that really on tech in general, but certainly the cyber side, certifications are pretty well respected. And there's a lot you can do for kind of the less expensive certifications to promote your career a decent ways. There's certainly some very, very expensive certifications, like all the different SAN certifications come to mind, and they cost
Right.
like a minimum of like $6,000 a class.
Oh.
Those probably aren't going to be something that you go for on your own, right? But that's okay because you can get cheaper certifications that are still just as impactful towards your job opportunities.
Well, that is perfect. Well, thank you so much, Michael, for spending some time with me. The last question I want to ask you is super important because it's about you and it's gonna tell the world how you feel. What is one thing you wish more people understood about cybersecurity in space?
Oh, in space specifically. Okay. Um, I guess I think that the how scary it is, how unprotected we currently are, is already a growing idea
Hmm.
that's spreading pretty quickly. But yeah, that definitely is uh, the one thing I wish more people understood because we might be moving a little bit faster towards addressing that problem. But in space we have a big problem with disclosure. If we recently had like MGM get hacked, right, and everybody knows about it, and people
Right.
adjust because of that.
Hmm.
But space things are classified, and it's embarrassing to talk about your satellite getting hacked. So it's likely that we've had satellite compromises and it's never disclosed because
Hmm.
it's all classified information. So I also do wish that people knew more of the real data. Not that I know, because again, I don't have a clearance, so I don't have
Yeah.
access to this information. I wish that people understood more about the real data on when satellites have been hacked and how often that has occurred, because I feel like that would also spur the conversation forward significantly.
Yeah, push for more needed regulations and framework for these companies. I can see
Yep.
that for sure. Well, thank you so much for
Yep.
your time. We really appreciate it. And the CCI, the Space Grand Challenge team, Cal Poly really appreciate you talking to me. If there's anything else you want to say, you can say it. Other than that, then thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much for the interview.
All right, appreciate it. Bye.
You.
I'll say hello and then you.
Yep.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Space Grand Challenge, or the SGC. My name is Madeline Hott, and this is.
Benjamin Arts.
And we are back again. Shout out. Thank you so much, Michael, for sharing with us today. I mean, you know Michael personally, right?
I somewhat do.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've connected with Michael mainly through LinkedIn. We've had a conversation
Mhm.
or two. I know that you ended up doing the interview.
I know, which
The
is super
interview.
fun.
Yeah.
He was so great. But moving on a little
Yeah,
bit.
we have two amazing people coming up. We
Yes.
have Rob and Henry,
Yep.
and by all means, those two names technically don't mean anything yet, but they are two very important
They are
people.
big deals.
They make sure that this whole event, and I'm not just saying the AV tech portion of it, obviously important, but they make the whole event actually happen.
Yep.
So they're the two people that actually help like supervise this event,
Mhm.
supervise us in case
Yep.
we get a little too rowdy on stream. But by all means, that is going to be the next upcoming segment.
Yeah,
So
and we're so excited because I'm going to start with Rob for a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit about what he does and his role and his job in general. And then we're going to go into a little bit of another Unity room with him, the Hacker
Perfect.
Hideout, which is one of my favorites, guys. And then after that, Henry is going to come on, and he has so many cool tech to show you guys. I mean, he was showing us this badge that is really,
Oh,
really cool that he has over there. And you
I was
guys
about to say,
have
there's
to come see
stuff.
it and everything. It's going to be awesome. So we're going to cut to a very short break to bring Rob up here, and we'll see you very, very soon. Welcome back, everyone. And look who's sitting next to me, our good friend, Rob. Rob, do you mind introducing yourself to everyone and telling, the audience a little bit more about what you do at the SGC and CCI?
Sure, Maddie. I am the technical project coordinator here at the CCI. I manage all the student teams. So we have the Unity team, the AWS team, the awesome esports team, and the awesome Discord team.
Yep.
So I just try to manage the projects that we have going on, SGC being the main one. And love working with the students. I've been doing this for over 18 years now. So I love mentoring students, watching them grow, and then bittersweet watching them graduate and go off to new, better
Yes.
things, greener horizons. But it's good to see them, watch them grow and work with them. So.
Yeah, I mean, I have been working with you for the past, maybe it's been a year and 8 months. It's been a little bit. You hired me last year. We did the SGC together.
Yes.
That was a wonderful experience. I know we keep addressing the Unity students behind us, but here they are. And Rob handles a lot of managing them. Over here, we have our Discord team, and it's our Unity students. So a lot of the stuff that you guys see in the programming, attributed to this guy. So thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
Good to be here.
So now I'm going to ask you a couple questions about the Space Grand Challenge. First, what's your take on the Space Grand Challenge, and how does it fit into the broader cybersecurity education landscape?
We want to spread awareness as early as possible, and that's why our game is really tailored to middle school and high school students.
Yes.
We want to get them kind of well versed in the cybersecurity landscape so they can kind of learn new attack vectors, see what's out there, try to be the cyber warriors starting at a young age, and hopefully get something out of it. The way we build our game is what's out there on the landscape, the cybersecurity landscape. What can we take from that and build it into the game, make it fun? So that's why we have our Unity rooms, which obviously the younger crowd kind of caters to. Like, they love playing games for the most part.
Yep.
Either on their mobile phone or computer or console. So all three. But how do we weave in these cybersecurity challenges so they learn from it? So our motto is learn by doing
Learn
here
by
at Cal
doing.
Poly. And then, hopefully our hope anyway is, our secret hope is that they become cyber warriors after they graduate high school. Some students that have played actually have come here to Cal Poly and are in the computer science department and have worked for us as well. So it's kind of like a full circle experience. They play the game, they love it. They come to Cal Poly, they join our team. We've had a couple of students that actually joined our team and worked to develop the game. So I played that. This is what I learned, and how can we make it even better? So we're
Yeah.
always innovating. Every year we try to innovate more. What new challenges are out there? Because there's always new challenges out
There's
there.
always new
And now with
challenges.
AI,
I know.
we just got to protect ourselves from that as well. So, the main goal is just to spread awareness, give them a tool, our audience a tool to learn from, and then just take it to the next level after that.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. We're growing in a completely digital world. I mean, as middle school and high school students, I mean, I remember when I was in middle school, I didn't use the iPads and Canvas, but now my niece and my cousins are using like Canvas in like 5th grade. And it's like, just making sure that they're safe online. And it's super important to us at the CCI.
For
and
sure.
the Space Grand Challenge is a big mission of ours. Beyond that, learn by doing. We have our Unity students here, and they are certainly learning by doing here. Like, you guys throw them into these games, and you guys are like, okay, you give them some direction of where you want them to go. But a lot of the times it seems like they have a lot of creative liberty, and they have to go through several different, checks and balances through there. But I think they get a lot of learning experience here.
They
At
do.
the Space Grand Challenge.
They have to master their craft, so to speak. So.
Another question I want to ask is, what do you wish someone had told you when you were getting started in tech or cybersecurity when you were younger?
Just how vast the landscape is. I mean, there's
Hmm.
so many different facets. I've also worked in the past in tech support and client
Yep.
services, so customer support is very important to me. So making sure that those that I help support have all the answers that they need. If they have trouble installing anything, or their computer conks out, like how do I fix it for them? And the way my approach has always been. In the efforts of learn by doing, this is how I fixed it. So I try to pass that knowledge on to them, not just, hey, I'm Rob, I'm going to fix this for you magically and off you go.
Yep.
So it's
IT.
like, how do I teach them what I did? So if something happens like that in the future and I'm not there, there's no Rob available. I'm sure there's another Rob by another name, but just in case, they can take care of themselves. But again, back to the landscape, you have tech, you have cybersecurity,
Hmm.
you have coding,
Yep.
right? And now with AI, we have a lot of infrastructure that are trying to set up worldwide for that.
Hmm.
So, who's going to help support that infrastructure? Because some of you might know, the memory prices are increasing now because
It's
everyone's
ridiculous.
trying to buy
It
up
is
everything
ridiculous.
to create these server farms for AI. And then I think a really cool thing is, how do we train AI to keep it ethical?
Yep.
Right. So how do we keep it legit?
Absolutely.
How do we make sure that it's not being used maliciously?
Hmm.
So again, cyber warriors have to help with that as well. So it's a beautiful, vast landscape, just like our Mother Earth, right? And as some of you've seen with the Artemis mission recently, we have a beautiful, vast universe, our solar system as well. And just let's see what's out there next. And I'm just looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, AI seriously is the new frontier. There is like completely unscathed. We don't really know where it's going to go with that. So obviously, it's important to be prepared where we're, going to go with AI a little bit. I think that was a great point.
Thank
Moving
you.
on a little bit, how do competitions like SGC help prepare the next generation of cybersecurity professionals?
It goes back to the challenges that we bake into
Hmm.
the rooms. So we have our Unity rooms, which are cool. We added our NPCs in.
Yes.
Something exciting. We're working on a couple of more exciting things to add to the game. So stay tuned for that.
Hmm.
But we also have, on the other side of just walking in a virtual landscape as you would a physical office space or corporation, our virtual computer. So interacting with it, a would-be hacker or a white hat hacker could find ways to either maliciously install something or help harden it to protect it from malicious attacks. So our analysis portion is there to kind of like give best of both worlds. So you're physically in a space, and you're also in the OS environment,
Yeah.
and kind of looking through there, finding cyber clues, and all that kind of stuff. And then we also have an application within our analysis portion called Satellite SDK, which is really cool because you get to kind of you get to be there on the ground station to kind of
Hmm.
see the satellites passing over, solving that challenge. So if you haven't done that yet, we hope you have fun with that one, because
Yeah.
that one's a really cool one, really neat one, I think, personally. But yeah, so we try to get a little best of both worlds.
Hmm.
So physical environments, OS environments, to try to teach our younger cyber warriors out there what it is to be a cyber warrior.
Yeah, I mean, most of all, we try to make it fun. Obviously, we want to learn by doing, but we want to make sure that you guys are having a great time. And I think the SDC offers, a lot of creativity and teamwork beyond our competitors. The last question I want to ask you before we get into our Unity rooms, because I know so many people are
Oh
so
yes,
excited,
they always go there first.
is what's something about your job or career that still makes you geek out or get excited after all these years?
I think it's talking to my students about what's new out there, techie,
Oh, that's
or
sweet.
yeah, it's kind of like, we're all one tightly knit team here,
Hmm.
and we try to, mentor each other. Like, I don't have all the answers. Sometimes the students have some of the answers, and I thank them for that. So it's not, I'm not coming in knowing everything, and that's why I like it. Working with a younger crowd, because times change. I try to stay ahead of what's going on
Yes.
out there in the world, but sometimes I rely on my younger generation students to kind of inform us. But yeah, just learning by doing together, I think, as a tightly knit team. And that's how we make this happen. So
Yep.
me and Henry are kind of like the managers, but the students we give them a lot of leeway
Mhm.
and some creative input to create these spaces for you all. So yeah, it's a fun job. I
Well,
love it.
thank you so much for letting me quiz you a little bit.
Of
But
course.
now we're going to move into our Unity room, which is Hacker's Hideout.
I
Well,
know
can I
who
do that
did
one?
this.
Do you?
Yeah.
Shout out, Brennan. So you're going to help me walk through this. Ooh.
Yeah, Mr. David did
Oh,
this
David?
one. David.
David. Okay.
So we tried to create like an atmospheric mood here.
Yeah, no, I do see
And
that.
you can probably hear it, the footsteps and typing. And so this is one of our newest additions, NPCs. I don't know if you've covered that
Oh,
previously.
we
in
did.
rooms
We
on-
did cover it. We covered it a little bit. We talked about how we had feedback last year and the NPCs came from an idea from one of the other competitors. So feel free, please use the feedback loop. We would love to hear from you guys.
Yeah, at the end of the game, we have a
Mhm.
feedback section on
Yes.
the left-hand menu that you can go to.
Please use
Um,
it.
So
Oh
yeah,
my
so we created
gosh.
this room to add atmosphere, and usually hacker hideouts are kind of like these like dark, moody spots
Mhm.
where you kind of don't want anyone else to see what you're doing. We have some classic hardware that we added to the room as well, so kind of show off like how computers progress throughout the years.
Yeah.
But it works really well, and so you can see the projector there. If you
Whoa.
look up on the ceiling, you can see the projector that we added in there, and thanks to David, he got. Even like you can see speckles of dust
Yeah,
being shown,
I
like a
do
real
see that.
projector like in rooms. So
Yeah, I do remember this room a lot because obviously, as the esports team, we have gone through a lot of the run and show and then filming the interviews and all that
Yeah.
stuff. But beyond that, we have also been play testers for a lot of the rooms. And I remember
Yeah.
being so excited about this room because I'm sure you guys can hear it, but we can't hear it right now. Is you guys have the cars and all the lights, and you can hear the fans
the
when they
cityscape
move.
outside.
Yes,
That's a big
I
thing that we
remember
added this
writing
year.
so much about the atmosphere in this room. I loved it so much. Like, look how cool it looks,
Yeah.
so lived in. Like, that's one thing that we were talking about throughout the rooms this year. We feel like everything looks very lived in, that they're very possible. Beyond that, let's try a little
Want
bit
to try
of
one of the
the
challenges?
rooms.
See
Yeah.
what it looks like at least.
So I was told to try this one.
Okay.
So let's look at it. This challenge is quite simple. Oh, okay. Teaching us about Trojans. Do you know anything about Trojans?
I do a little bit, enough to get into trouble, I would say.
Yeah. So,
But
you
I
know,
try not to get into trouble.
says we should start by installing the Trojan
should
Analyzer
we? Let's
program. I
see.
mean, no, why not?
Let's see what David has cooked up for us here.
Of course. Yes. I can do that. Downloading the analyzer.
Okay. So it's supposed to analyze if we have any on our computers, right?
I guess.
Let's double click and see what it does.
Oh. We detected an unauthorized access on the computer you just used. What? Looks like one of our rival hacker groups is able to insert a malicious link into the instruction document. Oh no.
So it looks like the boss code went to that. And we can drag it off the screen so we can see what's behind it. Let's see what.
Oh my
what happened.
gosh. Your files were encrypted. What happened? Your computer and all its files were encrypted. What do I do? We guarantee your data is safe. All you have to do is send $300 in Bitcoin to this address. Once you send payment, click check payment and decrypt the files.
How much is 300 in Bitcoin?
I have no idea. I don't deal in Bitcoin. I try to stay away from it, but it sounds like a lot. I mean, Trojans, if you guys aren't familiar with them, are kind of, little reference to the Trojan horse, if you guys have
Yes.
ever heard that story. But, they come up with the Trojan horse and, oh, we have a gift for you. And there's all this, like, all the people ready to attack the city inside the little Trojan horse. So I think it's really, really cool.
Yeah.
Cool name. but obviously not a cool thing to happen. Nobody
No.
wants their files encrypted, and nobody wants those messages saying that they have to pay $300 in Bitcoin.
So instead of a bunch of people coming out of the horse, it's a bunch of code that's
Mhm.
coming out maliciously to attack and install keyloggers, spyware on your
Mhm.
computer. So, yeah, something to be aware
Yeah,
of for
just being
sure.
very safe about the sites you click on, the files you open. You should check very thoroughly. Like, oh, are these weird? Is the site a little off? Is the spelling weird on like
hmm
the name of what you're trying to open? Because you never really know who's going to try and get into your account. You
Yeah.
don't want to mess that up, that's for sure. This is so cool, though.
What does it say at the bottom there? Disclaimer: this is a fake scenario. Oh, thank goodness.
Yes. Obviously, we don't
Crisis
want you guys to
averted.
think that we're actually hacking anything. But, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Awesome
So
challenge.
cool, so cool. Such a good job. I remember seeing that the first time because obviously this is not the first time that we've seen this room, but I remember seeing it the first time and be like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Because I saw it and I knew what Trojans were. I didn't think that was gonna happen, so I was just like, "Oh, did I fail the challenge?" No,
And
it's okay.
it could also happen. Like someone could say, "This is a fake Trojan,"
Mhm.
or something that can get rid of Trojans, but it's actually malicious. So be very careful. Install antivirus on your computer.
Yes, antivirus.
Usually nowadays it's all installed automatically.
Yeah, I have I mean, personally, I use McAfee or
McAfee.
yeah. My cousin who is a cyber engineer was like, "Get McAfee." I was like, "Okay, sure. I don't know anything, but sure, I'll do it."
Anything else David wants us to check
No,
out?
other than the atmosphere and that challenge, but I wanted to ask you a little bit more about the Unity team and Unity
Sure.
development. So, what are the steps in making a room like this? Like, is it design and then implementation, or do you guys meet regularly? What is the process?
We do. So we meet once a week. We call it sprint meetings.
Mhm.
So first we kind of talk as a group, like how many rooms do we want?
Yes.
What are the different rooms that we want to showcase?
Mhm.
And how can we take what's out there in the cybersecurity landscape and bake those into the room? So what would we usually find in a hacker hideout? And then from there, Henry and I kind of get creative and we work with the students obviously as well to try to come up with different challenges that one would find in the hacker hideout. So, what kind of like information do they keep there? So, when we're coming up with these, and again, I mentioned earlier that we give students leeway, so we kind of plant the seed of the idea, and we talk about it, but then we kind of let them run wild with it, like
Huh.
go out there, do a little bit of research, use AI but ethically
Yes.
to try to see what is out there, and then we kind of bake that into some of the challenges that we create in the rooms. So
How do you decide what challenges get placed in different game scenarios? So, like this one obviously had the Trojan horse. Is that
Mhm.
decided by the Unity student, or do they get assigned like, oh, I would love for you guys to have this type of challenge in your room? How does
we
that
do
go?
talk about options, but
Mhm.
then, like I was saying, if David is keen on the Hacker Hideout, he did work on it last year as well. So he had
Really?
some
Oh.
ideas that he didn't get to last year, and he really wanted to bake them into the game this year.
Well, it looks
So
wonderful.
yeah. So some of the challenges we talked at length a game or two beforehand, and then we kind of think about oh yeah, we should keep that. We should put it in the room. So.
Yeah, I remember playing this for the first time and just raving about the atmosphere, about like you can see the light coming off the projector and the sounds from the cars and the fans and all the sounds everywhere. It's just so cool in the lighting.
Yeah.
Very hacker hideout-y.
We're trying to make it as realistic as possible, like I was saying
Mhm.
earlier. So when you're going into a hacker hideout or an office building or a SAT command center, that's kind of what it would look like similarly in real life. So
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, we have Elementrix, one of our sponsors for today's
Yes.
event, and DEF CON. We haven't talked about DEF CON at all, but it is a convention for cybersecurity, a pretty big one. If you're super interested in that, you should go see it. And I'm sure we can get to talk more about that very soon with our good friend Henry.
Henry.
I mean, we're super, super excited. Things are going to work out really well. That's going to be our next segment. Fun stuff. I mean, what other... Oh gosh, I
I
remember
lost.
this one.
Let's see if if you click on it, it'll open up another web page.
Open this link. We're gonna go in here.
So it tells you, like, again, this is a learn by doing, so you
Mhm.
get to read about it, what it is, how it's used, and so you can, and it also obviously helps answer some of the questions. So, pro tip for all the players out there listening, and coaches and parents: read everything very
Yes,
thoroughly.
yes.
That's the way we've designed it. So, some it takes a little, some of it takes a little bit of a brain power.
Yes, I mean, it's super important to us that
And you have
we
the power.
that that the challenges aren't that easy. We want to make sure that you guys are definitely using your brain to look into things. But other than that, I don't really have that much else to talk about in our hacker hideout.
Yeah.
So
We
we're
hope
gonna
you
go
enjoyed this
back.
room.
Hope you enjoyed this room. Thank you so much, David. We are gonna cut to a short break, but before we do that, I want to talk to you a little bit about our new guest coming on, Henry. Can you tell us a little bit about Henry and what he does?
Sure. Henry is a creative genius and techie extraordinaire. He's part of several different clubs. As you can see here, I'm rocking the Nerd Flare, one of the
Yes.
badges that he gave me to promote on screen here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Henry's been a mentor to me in the cybersecurity landscape. I've had history working in, with some cybersecurity aspects, but when creating the challenges, and I think that's one of the most fun part of the job, besides working with our amazing students, is creating the challenges, working with the students and Henry to put them into the game for
Yeah.
you all. It takes a lot of how do we break this down for our audience? Because, what we would showcase on the college level or industry level might be different than the middle school and high school
Mm-hmm.
level. But, we try to keep it so it's pretty much
The same.
similar. Yeah, on the similar plane.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, and Henry also, a fun fact about Henry, which no one ever actually did in my past, is let me teach you how to solder. And I
Huh.
think, and it was a badge that I created myself, my
Yay.
very own badge to rock. I don't have it today, unfortunately, but I do have it at home. So yeah, he's been a great, cool individual to work with, and I call him my friend. And yeah, we just work very well together. So I can't wait to have you all meet him. Some of you met him before last year, but you will meet him again for sure. So.
Yeah, I cannot wait for you guys to talk a little bit more about badges in our next segment. And I would love for you guys to kind of, define a little bit more what they mean for our audience. But your guys are going to have to stay and tune in for that. We're going to see you very soon. We're going to cut for a short break, and we're going to have Henry and Rob on.
We'll be back.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Roham, Rob, Henry.
Back at it again.
Whoop, whoop. Let me hear it. Whoop, whoop. Whoop. All right. Nice. Welcome to another installment of Space Grand Challenge. Thrilled, ecstatic, and out of this world as usual. Watching from the scenes in the background, it's been simply marvelous, and I applaud all of the players. Thank you, coaches, parents, anybody that's rocking this on this great Saturday. We love you, and we appreciate all of your skill set, and we hope you take the next level, and we can't wait to see who wins today. It's going to be awesome. So go teams, and everybody's a winner here because you're getting to play Space Grand Challenge and learn fun stuff. Real quick, we wanted to talk today a little bit about a couple things. We're going to do a little badge life, and then we also wanted to talk about our friend here. This is the AMSAT CubeSat Sim. Whoa, that's a heavy word. And we got to build three of them this past summer with students. Inside, there are 3 levels that do communications. They do lots of things the same as a regular CubeSat would do. It has a ground control station that contacts and communicates with it. It has a gyroscope on it, also has solar panels on it. It also can do temperature sensing. So a lot of the same things that regular CubeSats do, we have. And Rob, why don't you tell us your experience with building it? And we want to talk about the clean suits. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, so we wore clean suits, partially as a joke, but partially to simulate what actual CubeSat technicians would be doing. You see some of them at NASA with the latest Artemis flight and working on the new telescope that's going to be launched soon. But we soldered everything. Great instructions by the person who developed this,
Alan.
and it was just fun. It just improved my soldering skills. And I just remember Ryan, like we would solder something like, "Hey Ryan, does this look good to you?" Yes. Okay. Green light.
And a shout out to Master Ryan for helping us always in the backside with wonderful AWS, all the super skills that he's helped us with, and especially helping us 3D print the CubeSat sim and doing some wonderful things.
Thank you, Ryan.
So thanks again for that. And now I want to switch a little bit to shout out to the Noyce School of Computing. This is last year's badge. Very cool thing. We end up giving these out at the alumni gathering during open house, and we hand them out to great alumni that come to an event. And we're very proud. The Nerd Flare group building badges currently. We're building some for iFixit to show at DEF CON. If you've never been to DEF CON, you need to go. It's a wonderful place to go and check out all kinds of things about cybersecurity and have a lot of fun. We try to send 2 or 3 of our students every year. I'm very honored to have hopefully some students from Cal Poly. Shout out to Clara, hopefully getting to present this year at DEF CON. So that's one of the badges I brought. Another one that I brought here.
That one's so cool.
This one's from the Aerospace Village. I think I showed him last year, but if you haven't seen it before, it actually tracks planes, satellites, has a Game Boy and Game Boy emulator. That's hard to say, sorry. And it also has a bunch of different things. A wonderful screen. There's a satellite kind of blowing up there that I found a nice GIF or GIF if you're the GIF guy. But anyway, very cool. I go to the airports and also track airplanes so you can see how fast they're going, their call sign and other components. But a very cool way to learn about avionics, aerospace, as well as satellites. So Rob here, he's also wearing one today. Hold him up politely. There you go. This is a learn by doing one we did also with the Cal Poly Shield and did some fun stuff. But anyway, my biggest point for helping everyone today is that you had fun. And the students in the back, please wave, students in the back. This is your chance to wave. Very cool. They've been supporting you during the entire game, as well as the designers of the game.
Yes.
To me, it just melts my heart to see the great strides these humans have done to be able to bring a phenomenal game using Unity development as well as all the AWS stuff in the background to be able to make this happen. Game Lift is amazing.
Yes.
All the cool components that make this actual wonderful game fun. And we wanted to give a shout out to Lucas and the team and the esports folks for doing everything. And then, of course, our sponsors.
Yes.
Thank you so much to all of our sponsors who have given us money, given us care, given us challenges, helped us throughout the day to be able to give you a fun way to play. Rob, you have anything else to say, my friend?
I just want to second that. So without sponsorship, some of this stuff wouldn't happen. So thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. And, you know, like I said before, we're going to innovate for next year's challenge. So be ready for that. We look forward to having all the teams come back next year. And just, you know, we got what, 20 more minutes. So hurry up and solve them challenges. Good luck to everyone.
We want a winner. And by the way, as my hat says, hack space. All right. Thank you very much for your time. Have a great one. Peace out.
See everyone.
And we are back. I actually kind of like the different seat. It gives a little bit of a different perspective. I can see Lucas a lot better. I can see Maddie a lot better. I actually like that. We should switch seats more often.
Yes, we'll make it like a rotating setup here.
Yeah, I think that's fun. Well, thank you for kind of, I don't know, providing a little bit of a summary, telling us a little bit more about the badges, things along those lines. I think, I don't know, you'll be back. You'll be back for the exit portion,
Looking
for the
forward to it.
scores. The scores is the big deal, and obviously that's kind of what everyone's sticking around for. But for the time being, we have one more pre-recorded interview, and that is with Morgan Swanson. Morgan and I actually worked in the same building. He was part of the whole Cal Poly entrepreneurship, like club, organizations, everything, and he worked on a company called Tractor Cloud, which is exactly what it sounds like. He worked with tractors and connecting them to the cloud, and now he works over at Space NG. In his time working with Space NG, he's worked there for about 2.5 years now. He has designed mission operation procedures for vision navigation systems, so kind of the landing of space missions onto, I don't know, realistically moving forward, the moon, but also other like space objects.
Very cool.
He has built cinematic imaging systems for the Blue Ghost mission, or Blue Ghost missions, which is definitely also a big thing there. And he has supported multiple mission operations on console. This was a really cool interview, just purely based off of the fact that, I don't know, this felt like he is working on the Space Grand Challenge, but in real life.
Right.
And it shows that the Space Grand Challenge is very applicable in real life. So if you want to go ahead and take some of the skills that you learned today and apply them to potentially your career or your school or anything like that, make sure to stick around for this pre-recorded interview with Morgan Swanson.
Just for the sake of kind of getting started, would you be able to introduce yourself and what you do, I don't know, in your field, and what's your background?
Okay, yeah, so my name is Morgan. I work for Space NG, and we help spacecraft navigate when you don't have GPS. That's kind of how we got started. My background's in computer engineering, computer science, like vehicles mostly. So when I was at Cal Poly, hacked into tractors, worked on like self-driving systems for semi-trucks. And then now it's like a self-driving system for a spacecraft. So you can think of it as like a Waymo for a spacecraft. You know, you put a bunch of sensors on a spacecraft, and then it can fly itself. And you're thinking, well, don't spacecraft already fly themselves? It's like, well, they do in simple situations. You have a stable orbit or something like that. There's not a lot of stuff that could go wrong with regard to navigating. There's plenty of other things that could go wrong. But when you're landing on the moon, precise navigation is extremely important. If you look at all the autonomous landers that the US has built, we built 3 or 4 of them now, and 3 of them have crashed. And so the Blue Ghost lander that I worked on was the only one that didn't. And part of the reason that it succeeded was this visual-based navigation. So we installed cameras on a spacecraft. It recognizes the surface of the moon and then calculates its position and attitude, which is like which direction it's pointing relative to the moon. And then that feeds the control system for the thrusters to help it like stay on course as it descends. And then we also, as we're doing our final descent, we detect craters and rocks, things that might break the lander, and redirect it to a safer location.
Okay. That is super fascinating. I mean, I ended up reading on it a little bit, and I feel like the fact that like Blue Ghost did so well, I mean, you obviously had like, I don't know, but part of like making sure that that happened and it went correctly and everything.
Yeah.
One of the main things that I'm kind of curious about is what really makes autonomous landing and kind of like the navigation so difficult in a space environment.
Well, let's see. So when you're navigating around Earth, you get this cool thing called GPS. So you can talk to a bunch of other satellites that already know a precise location because they've been spinning around forever. And they have precise clocks and all this advanced equipment. And you just get to piggyback off that. You get to say, hey, where am I? The moon doesn't have any GPS satellites. So you don't have any other option really besides radio ranging, which is good for stable, predictable orbits. But when you're rapidly maneuvering, it doesn't work. So you need a way to know your position, like globally know your position quickly so that you can autonomously control. And that's the challenge. So how would you do that? Well, you got to use something that you know where it is. Like the moon is like something you can reference against. So this is called terrestrial-based navigation. There's some work at Carnegie Mellon that does it for Earth, which is also super cool. They like can figure out key points on the geographical terrain on Earth and navigate. So that's our approach, is using cameras. And cameras are cool because you get a bunch of visual information, textures. And so we're able to cross-reference that against a map of an orbiter that had previously mapped out the whole moon. And so we're basically just referencing it against this map.
Okay. That is fascinating. So last year's competition, so not the SGC 2026, but the one before that, was called Lunar Legends, and it was this entire plot about like, okay, how can we do a lunar landing, making sure
Yeah,
that space cybersecurity actually like stays correct and everything. So
totally.
now hearing about an actual lunar landing and the utilization of cameras is kind of fun to be able to tie it back into last year's.
Sure.
Um, I think on the camera side of it, something that then interests me as well is just vision navigation. I feel like it's becoming, I mean, we can see that in the success of like Space NG as well, but it's like it's quickly becoming a backbone of what like the next gen's landers and like spacecrafts will probably look at. So it's
Yep.
kind of relying on that. Where do you think where do you think we'll see the biggest like innovations happening over the next 5 to 10 years when it comes to vision navigation?
Oh man. So I mean, I think one thing that from a space perspective right now is there's a big interest in Golden Dome. Right? Like this is a
Okay.
totally new way of buying spacecraft where basically the government expects you to just come up with a cool thing and then they'll buy it. And so it's kind of on private companies to invent new spacecraft capability and demonstrate it. So it's like, but the numbers on it is huge. So that, I mean, thousands of satellites, right? And a lot of it is on detection of objects, and the fact that it's critical infrastructure means it needs to be protected. So thinking of like everyone has a Ring doorbell in their house, right? But like we really need to have like Ring doorbells on all our spacecraft to know if like something, some other spacecraft, a stealthy spacecraft maybe,
Hmm.
is doing something. So that's like one big area is what you call space situational awareness, like knowing what's around you and being able to detect objects that aren't stars or like things you expect to see in space. Um, and I mean, the other thing is like automotive technology with cameras has made has created these economies of scale and like new technologies that we are able to leverage in other applications. So cars need LiDAR now, and cars need sensors
Hmm.
to detect pedestrians and all kinds of things like that. So these sensors are now being built at scale. And then if you're building something that's maybe cutting edge or new, you now have access to all of this innovation that's getting driven by the automotive industry. So from like a supply or technology perspective, you were seeing cool stuff like SPAD sensors. So it's like
Hmm.
basically like a fixed, like it's no moving parts, but it can measure the time of each photon as it bounces off an object. So it's basically like LiDAR, but way cheaper and way simpler and way more reliable. And we're seeing that those new sensors are coming into the market now and enables all kinds of new things you can do with sensing. And then I guess
I
one
mean,
other area that we care about is like resource mapping.
mhm.
So like there's a lot of interest in like where's the water and what can we see on the surface of the moon. So, you know, being able to sense that you can use radar, you can use neutron or what's it called? There's a couple different sensors, but looking outside the visible spectrum to be able to see figure out what's actually there based on the different light that is bouncing off of it.
Okay. I feel like also in that context, I'm thinking about like, okay, the fact that there's one industry really supporting another here, and probably also vice versa. I think it's cool to kind of see that. The at the Space Grand Challenge, we focus on like hands-on technical problem solving. So students go into this game, and then
Yeah.
they have this capture the flag kind of
Hmm.
based version. They go in, and then they work with a group, a team, to really find all of these flags. When we are looking at all of these challenges, how important do you think the challenges are like this for preparing the next generation of mission operators and space engineers and people who are going to be working on the next lunar landers?
Oh, I mean, so we had a big plan about how the mission was going to go, and it totally did go that way in certain ways. But there's a bunch of things that didn't go right, and that's what you call an anomaly. So, and then there's an active investigation with a very short time component to resolve that anomaly. And so the skill, like you don't have time to figure out how to SSH into a computer or like what Linux commands to run. Like you're SSHing into test beds, running hardware in the loop tests on code. You're stepping into Linux debugging to like see where bottlenecks are. Um, Logging and being able to quickly find like the error in the log is super important. And then you're on the spacecraft now, and you have to understand how all those Linux computers on the spacecraft, like our camera system is a Linux computer. So being able to understand, like, okay, what happens? What's the side effects of me running this SCP command from the flight computer to that? How's that going to affect the critical software that's keeping the thing in orbit, right? So, so Linux, SSH, file systems, super important. I think from a security perspective, you know, the cloud is super awesome because like when we have large amounts of data, we want to be able to like horizontally scale that data processing so we get real-time response on the ground. But then you have to be very careful about security, right? That's kind of another area. So I don't know if I answer your question, but that's kind
Oh,
of
definitely. Well, that's funny that you kind of bring it up because there's probably, right, from we knew each other before this. I feel like there's probably a lot of tie over for you as well with Tractor Cloud, funny enough. So it's like
Oh
cool to
yeah.
kind of see you continuing to work on this. That's awesome.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's just like a big expensive tractor. It's in a remote area. It's got to work. People get mad if it doesn't.
That's funny. It's a good analogy. I like it. And then the final question that we ask everybody that is here, what is one piece of advice that you would give the audience that's listening today?
You build your identity, your professional and personal identity incrementally. You know, it's not something that you, at the end of your life, you know how it's going to go. So, like, for me, I've always just found these opportunities immediately around me in my community that excited me, and just like got involved. And that's given me a crazy journey that's way more fun and exciting than it would have been if I tried to plan it all out. And so I guess you think of that like you're collecting pieces of yourself as you go. And so it's just more like find some interesting stuff to collect. Don't worry so much about like how it's all going to work out.
I like that. I mean, that's even good advice for me. So, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And if anyone is interested in learning more, they're welcome to reach out to me.
Well, thank you, Morgan. Appreciate it.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome back.
Yep, to the Space Grand Challenge 2026. For the last time, my name's Madeline Hott, and this is
Benjamin Arts.
And we want to say a quick thank you to
Morgan Swanson. Morgan, thank you for the interview. I know that you have a busy schedule. Space NG is a big deal. But I know this is such a cool interview. This is one of the ones that we really wanted to include in our broadcast. And one of the primary reasons is, like I was talking about with Rob, Morgan is doing the Space Grand Challenge in real life.
Yep.
And that is the cool thing about this. You're going to be able to apply what you learned today directly into your career or in your school life or just in general. What kind of the general key of this entire stream has been about is you can apply it to your curiosity learning. And that's a big portion of this. It's you're curious. You went in and decided to I don't know, participate in this challenge. That means you're curious in cybersecurity and this challenge, and you were curious to see if, hey, can I actually do this challenge? And based off of the scores that we see up there,
we do
it
see
seems
a lot
like
of
people
completes, yeah.
were very curious, and you all did a very good job.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really, really great time. I mean, Space Grand Challenge Silent Horizons 2026, what an incredible journey it has been, filled with innovation, resilience, and teamwork. Over this course of over this event, you've participated in all our game rooms, hopefully, and completed some wonderful challenges, maybe learned a thing or two, and learned some things from our live interviewees and, you know, our team here at the SGC. You've proven that the next generation of cybersecurity leaders are already here and ready to make an impact. We want to take a quick moment to recognize the hard work and dedication it takes to put on an event like this, from our esports team, from our Unity development team, of course, our Discord team, to our supervisors, everybody at the SGC and Space Grand Challenge and CCI. We are all very thankful for your help. I mean, what else do you want to say here?
I mean, this is 2 years ago. I said this is going to be the last time I'm going to be here, and then I came back. This challenge genuinely is amazing. The impact that we have is awesome. And like Maddie was saying, we couldn't do this without, well, everybody at home, as coaches, parents, just general supporters. Obviously, the students walking through this themselves. I don't know, it's a lot of moving parts, and I feel like that's kind of the beauty about this event. It brings people together, and everybody is learning something. And once again, the curiosity behind all of this is what really just, I don't know, stifles the fun behind it.
Yeah.
I know I love this event every single year. We did an amazing job this year,
And it's getting
and
better every year.
yeah, and one of the big things for making it better every single year is the feedback
Yep.
portion of it. We've probably asked you, I want to say 2 times by
Yeah.
now, but we want to go ahead and reiterate this one more time. The feedback that you provide to us right now is going to be directly implemented into the game. I mean,
Yes.
obviously, we're going to go ahead and look at what you write and what your general feedback is, but this is very important. The NPCs was a piece of feedback. Improvements in lighting.
Yeah.
It could
Atmosphere.
realistically be anything. If you have a challenge that you think would be super cool, if you're interested in Unity room creation, all of that is a conversation to be held here. And that's either through our Discord. We have tons of social medias, right? Pretty much all of them. We have our YouTube, where we're going to be
LinkedIn.
posting all of this,
Yeah.
LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook,
or
Twitter.
X.
That's true.
X now.
So I don't know. You can obviously always stay connected with us, and Maddie and I are also here for you. So
Yeah, of
please be sure
course.
to reach out.
Yeah, I mean, we're here, we're helping. We really hope that you guys had a wonderful time with our game, of course, or I guess our game, the team's game. To our partners, sponsors, and the incredible team behind the scenes, thank you for believing in the power of education, innovation, and opportunity. Events like the Space Grand Challenge don't happen without your support, your vision, and your commitment to inspiring the next generation. As we close out today, I want to thank you all for participating, and we hope that even if you did not end where you wanted to, that you still had a wonderful time and you guys learned a lot. Shout out to our competitors, our mentors, our parents, the SGC team, and cybersecurity enthusiasts. And if you are a cybersecurity enthusiast and you want to reach out and maybe offer some insights for the next year, please reach out to us in the same way through the feedback loop. But in the meantime, at this time, I would like to invite all of our support staff to
It's
join me
time.
at the desk and list off your name and what you guys do for the Space Grand Challenge. So they're going to come up here.
We want to make sure everybody gets recognized. You've seen some of these people already,
They're all in the back.
but some people, it's going to be the first time. So by all means, Wasim, you're first.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you on the spot.
Our good friend.
Hey everybody, thank you for playing.
What's your name and what's your role?
My name is Wasim and I'm a Unity developer.
Thank you, Azim.
Would we be able to line up by chance? Is that possible?
Yeah, make it happen.
Okay, they're coming out here.
Sorry, they're all so busy.
These are the people making it happen. Obviously, the event is now, well, it is at a close, so also congratulations. We
Yes.
are tallying up the points in the background right now, but obviously this is important. Name what you worked on. What team?
Hi guys, I'm David. I worked on the Hacker Hideout,
Yep.
as mentioned by Rob earlier. I know you guys had a lot of fun with some of those challenges, and I'm sorry for that. But yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Avery. I'm the AWS team lead, and I've worked on registration, basically all of the connectivity on the back end I've dealt with.
Thank you, Avery.
Hey, I'm Owen. I'm one of the AWS developers, and I worked on the Unity rooms and the analysis portion.
Owen.
Hi everyone, I'm Jason. I'm an AWS developer, and it's been great working with Avery, Owen, and Ava.
Yay.
Hello, my name is Ava. I'm also an AWS developer. I worked on some forensics analysis challenges. And yeah, thank you all for playing.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Winnie. I'm on the Discord team and I worked on all of the bots and commands that you used in our Discord server.
Thank you, Winnie.
Hi, I'm Brennan. I'm a Unity developer and I worked on the clean room. Hope you all enjoyed.
The clean room, yay!
Hello everyone, I'm Lex. I'm on the Discord team. I added a lot of those memes and stuff that
Hi, I'm Clara. I'm on the Unity team. I work on the 3D assets and the NPCs, and then also a flight software project.
Thank you, Clara. And last but not least, our good friend,
And I'm back. It's me. It's Lucas. I'm your friendly neighborhood AV tech. And I just want to say thank you to these two for being on my team, but also everyone else behind us. We couldn't have done this event without you guys. And thank you to all of you for watching. But yeah, that was me, and time to go back to my desk.
Bye. Thank you so much. I mean, shout out to our Unity team and our
Mhm.
AWS team and our Discord team. All wonderful people that work really hard to make this game possible for you guys. Now, we're going to cut to a very short break and
Mhm.
we're going to come back to you guys with our scores.
Yeah. We'll have Henry and Rob for that.
Yep.
So see you soon.
See you soon.
Okay, so we aren't Rob and Henry, but those scores will come out very, very soon. We just wanted to go ahead and quickly tell you that there is a feedback section. So if you don't see it, just go ahead and refresh your page. You're going to go ahead and scroll down here. There's a little feedback thing, and that helps us improve kind of a little bit of everything. I mean, Maddie and I were just talking about this like 5 minutes ago, the NPC idea and everything. But once again, you just go over to the feedback section, you fill it out, you go ahead and you say, hey, I'm a robot, a player. And you go ahead and select your location, what you've played in. So obviously today's challenge, but also potentially past challenges, your general rating of your experiences, the performance of the game, if there was anything to do with the training portion of it. And then my favorite portion, you can go ahead and write down what you want to write down. So we were talking about, hey, like, please give us feedback. This is the place to do it. So one more time, just to walk you through it, you have your general SGC Live webpage. You're going to go ahead, scroll down to feedback, click that, and then you can go ahead and fill out your feedback here. So, right, you can go ahead and tell us, hey, this was amazing. And whatever else you might have for responses. Okay. Again, we know that the scores are important. It will be announced here live, so stay tuned. We will be back in like, I want to say 2-3 minutes.
Very soon. I mean, they're just calculating it. So when they get here, we're all so excited and we're all rooting for you. I mean, I have my favorite in my head and Ben has his favorite.
That's true.
So we're rooting for you specifically, but we're rooting for everybody.
Okay, we'll see you in, well, Rob and Henry, we'll see you in a little bit.
Yeah,
and
like a couple minutes.
Most likely from us for the last time.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Welcome back, everyone. Hope you all had fun at today's event. We have the top teams for you. So we're going to start in order from high school, go to middle school afterwards. So the top team for high school is Null Interface. 3,705 points, and they're from Wayne Westland Community Schools District in Michigan.
Go Michigan! Woohoo!
All right, and now for middle school, it's Team Zayden.
All right.
Congrats. With 3,635 points, and they're from Hacienda La Puente Unified School District in California.
Yeah, go California! Woohoo!
So congrats to you both teams, and congrats to everyone, and thank you everyone for playing today's event. Henry, do you have any final words to say to our
Thanks
players?
again for Space Grand Challenge. All the team in the back. Round of applause for everyone.
And our
the Twitch
esports
team and esports just killed it today. So thank you very much for your kindness and time. See you next year.
See you next year.